Hello? Can you guys hear me? My mic unplugged and I saw the bar not going off and I was like, what happened? Anyways, hello. Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? I was playing Minecraft last night with Sydney and I got interrupted by my mom who comes in and she's like, "Do you want this Snoop Dogg branded champagne?" And I didn't even know that existed. But anyways, hello everybody. Have you had breakfast, lunch, / dinner? We're just gonna jump right into it today. We finally finished case 3. I was thinking about case 3, and like, I liked the first 2 cases. They were pretty good. They were pretty straightforward. But third case was just like, that last hour, I feel like should have either been somewhere else or didn't need to exist at all. That went on way too long. Yeah, it should have been somewhere else, I feel. Anyhow, let me turn off this music and let's switch right back into the game. The game? The game. Let's go! Okay. Ooh, got no things in the gallery. Okay, we're gonna start case 4. I'm super excited. I'm really excited. Hi, Greggy! Hello! Hello, how are you doing? Hello, how are you doing? It's episode 4, Turnabout Reminiscence. So this takes place in the past. Kay Faraday, the young lady who calls herself the second Yatagarasu. The piece of cloth that she conjured up has taken me back to many years ago. 7 years earlier. That's a while ago. I don't know who either of these people are. Yeah, that's right. I did it. I killed the guy. But it was the great thief Yatagarasu that told me to do it. I asked the defendant, just what exactly are you trying to say? Don't you get it? I know the true identity of the Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu is the man standing over there at the prosecutor's bench. Are you saying that I'm the Yatagarasu? Don't you dare deny it. You told me to kill him when you snuck into the embassy. Are you claiming that Mr. Faraday's the Yatagarasu? That's exactly what I'm saying. Mr. Rel, I think we've heard just about enough out of you. Your Honor, please listen to me. I'm telling the truth. You've got to believe me! Vivi Valkyrie, thank you so much for following. Welcome to the Roach Zone. Yahoo! Oh, it's the judge. I missed him. In accordance with the defendant's accusation, a new prosecutor shall be called to replace Mr. Faraday. This court will be in recess until the new prosecutor is ready. Oh, I missed you, Mr. Judge. I missed the judge. Hey, Charlie. The objection. Baby! Little guy! He's like, how old is he here? I don't know. It's almost time for me to enter the courtroom. And so it is that my first assignment as a prosecutor will be as a replacement for a prosecutor has been accused by the defendant. Edgeworth. Oh shit! Sir? Have you read over all the documents regarding this trial? Yes, sir. I've memorized everything there is to know. Very good. The paperwork for the prosecutor substitution is just about complete. Edgeworth, always bear in mind that as your mentor, I, Manfred von Karma, will accept nothing short of perfection. I understand, sir. To have the chance to stand in court at such an early stage in my career, I am honored and proud. As I have watched over your studies, I am giving you this very rare chance. Oh, hang on. That was my quietest, highest one yet. Also, hello, caffeine habit. Prove yourself. Crush the defendant's pathetic lies into oblivion. Yes, sir. That such a legendary prosecutor will be watching and judging my performance. A yippee for the ages! I have to be perfect in every way. He frightens me. Hello.
Mr. Prosecutor, sir.
You've got a good eye if you can tell that I'm a prosecutor with just one glance.
As there are always only prosecutors and defense attorneys in this lobby, I usually hit the mark if I guess one or the other while there is a recess.
You're only guessing? Aren't these great? Daddy made all these.
Awesome! But didn't you get fired right after you made them?
Yeah, I did. I spent the same amount of money on this model as it cost to build the real thing. My boss wasn't very happy with me.
Hey, Daddy! Didn't you say you built a secret mechanism inside of it?
I'll tell you about it someday when you're older. A secret mechanism? Maybe he installed it as a payback for getting fired. It could be trouble. What? Now I'm curious. Excuse me, madam, but is something the matter?
I just thought someone would have brought hors d'oeuvres by now.
But this is a courthouse. It would be quite atypical to provide hors d'oeuvres in here.
Are you sure? Someone poured me a fresh cup of coffee the last time I was here.
What the heck does she think a courthouse is for?
This is so good! I could drink a whole gallon!
I've never heard of water that tastes that good. Maybe I'll give him a minute. Oh my god. Does he plan on gulping an entire reservoir dry? Oh my god. A luxurious and beautiful leather sofa. I must say, every part of this courthouse is meticulously well kept. Although, the positioning of this sofa puts one under the direct gaze of the judges. Every judge in this courthouse's history has had quite the beard, and has gallantly parted with their beloved head of hair, I see. Being a judge must be a very stressful career. God, what a cold stare he's giving me. However, as a disciple of von Karma, there is no option but to win. What? He's good. The power of his cold stare rivals my own. Oh, he's asleep. He's sleeping while standing up. Goodness gracious.
The trial will resume shortly. Please wait a moment, sir.
I was already aware of that. Hi, Sydney. Shortly, or in a moment. Which one is it? Be specific. Oh, it's the thinker. Hang on, can you guys see that? Look, it's the thinker. A bookshelf, huh? Compendium of Laws for Beginners. I don't have the time to read this and second guess myself now. Yeah, it's Manfred. Hi, Nate. Let's see. A bulletin board. There are trial schedules posted on it. Trial scheduled for this week. Huh? There's only today's trial listed. This must be a mistake, or this country's judicial system is not working as it should. Yeah, this is 7 years in the past. Let's see what this does. A model of the courthouse. It's pretty well constructed. Hands and a face. Don't tell me this thing transforms. Yet, I wonder for what other purpose could they have been made? Today's trial should have ended in just 1 minute. Because the defendant was picked up by the security camera, correct? Another news, I finished the first trial of Apollo Justice and I gotta know what happened 7 years ago, you'll see. In other, also, this is also 7 years ago, so this is like 14 years ago for Apollo Justice. Exactly. The killer had the goal to say that he only killed because he was instructed to do so. Even more outrageous is his claims that the case prosecutor, Byrne Faraday, gave the order. Ha! Faraday is such a fool. He's been cornered by his very own prey. Sir, are you an acquaintance of Mr. Byrne Faraday? He is a pathetic man who speaks nothing but nonsense. Nonsense? Hey guys, let's kill this guy! He once tried to explain to me a way of punishing those who cannot be brought to court. Wow, before Edgeworth drank the sexism juice. Why was bro like that in Turnabout Beginnings? I don't know. Those who cannot be brought to court. That is nonsense, for no man is above the law. Well, there are always a few exceptions. However, there is no reason to even deal with such individuals. A prosecutor is a guardian of the court, one with no obligation to outside matters. Thus, there is no reason to deal with such individuals, I see. Edgeworth, disgracing yourself as Faraday will not be forgiven. Have no fear. I will not let you down, sir. In place of the accused prosecutor, Byrne Faraday, I'll prove the defendant's guilt. Very good. I've secured an hour of recess for you to prepare to do just that. Show them all. The power of Von Karma. Look at my badge. It is thanks to you that I have finally become a prosecutor, sir. Subtle as a brick. Does he know? Does he know? It's amusing that you wanted to become a defense attorney, yet you became my student. It is a strange path you have traveled. It's true that I had once wanted to become a defense attorney, but now I am honored and proud to be a prosecutor. I see. Send out a student of mine. I suggest you remember this well. The prosecutor's badge is not to be flaunted. The dignity of a prosecutor lies in the man himself, not in the badge. I understand. I will keep that in mind. Besides, why put holes in your fine garments? It's simply preposterous. Prosecutors must also take pride in their appearance. I will keep this in mind as well. I'm constantly having to remind the others at the prosecutor's office of this. It's more fashionable to keep your prosecutor's badge in your pocket. In other words, always treat a prosecutor's badge with care and honor. I understand, sir. So that's why he does that. So, have you achieved a firm understanding of the case? Yes, sir. I have memorized everything that is written down in the case files. Well then, explain the case to me. I want to see if you really know what you are talking about. Understood. A murder was committed on September 8th in front of the Cadopian Embassy. You think Manfred pisses off security guards everywhere he goes because he's making the metal detector? Oh my god! It's just a hip. It's just a what is that thing they put in people's hips? It's just a hip replacement. The victim, Mr. I'm sorry? I beg your pardon? I don't think I can do this anymore, man. The victim, Mr. Dead Man, was a staff member at the I hate it here, dude. The defendant in this case, Mr. was held for questioning the night of the incident as he was deemed suspicious. He was quickly placed under arrest for possession of the murder weapon, a gun. Furthermore, at the time of the murder, the great thief Yadagarasu had successfully infiltrated the Cadopian Embassy as well. At first, Rel claimed that he himself was the Yadagarasu, but that he did not kill dead men. I wonder what he expected to gain from such a desperate lie. It's possible that he wants to go down fell into the spotlight if he is found guilty. There truly is no limit to people's inanity. But I digress. Continue, Edgeworth. Yes, sir. During the trial, the prosecutor presented the security footage that captured the murder. The footage clearly showed Mr. Rell as the murderer. The act of Mr. Rell firing the gun could clearly be seen from the visitor's gallery. Upon seeing that, the defendant retracted his statement and admitted to the murder. I did it because I was told to, by the real Yatagarasu, Burn Faraday. That sounds about right. However, you've forgotten one thing. Whilst this may appear to simply be the murder of a Kotopian embassy staff member, people are actually referring to it as the second KG-8 incident. The second KG-8 incident? I'm very sorry, sir. I fear I failed to study hard enough. Well, even amongst the police, it's information that only a select few are privy to. His accent is mutating. Could you please enlighten me, sir? Sir, what do you mean by the second KG-8 incident? In order for me to tell you that, you must first learn about the original case. Hang on, I gotta blow my nose. There we go. Take a look at these documents. This is a 3-year-old newspaper. You have heard of the Amano Group scandal before, correct? Yes, I have. The secretary of Ernest Amano, the Amano Group's director, was arrested under suspicion of smuggling. Correct. I like how they just say smuggling. Like, smuggling what? Animals? Drugs? CCU was an employee of the Amano Group, and the sole witness to the smuggling operation. It was she who brought the crime to light. There was a teacher at my old school that was named Mrs. Mann. Hi, sideways! However, Mrs. Yu was silenced before she could testify in court. Wasn't a Kotopian embassy staff member arrested for the murder? Yes, a Kotopian by the name of Manny Kochin was the suspect. What? However, due to lack of evidence, the case went unresolved. Lack of evidence? Lack of evidence? Ha! If only I was in charge of the case. I would have done everything in my power to prove his guilt. To make sure that all criminals are found guilty. My mentor really is dedicated. Yep, that's what he's doing. Faraday was the prosecutor on the case then, and he was pathetic as ever. Mr. Faraday was in charge of the KG-8 incident as well. That's right. And now, once again, the victim of the case you are currently assigned to was someone who was scheduled to testify against the smuggling organization. Just like last time, the victim was murdered right before he was to testify. You're catching on. The victim was murdered just before his day in court against the smuggling organization. Events are occurring almost exactly the same way as they did in the KG-8 incident. So that's why it is being called the second KG-8 incident. Yes. Yet, there is one difference between the two incidents. What would that be? The so-called noble thief that is sending everyone into an uproar. The great thief, Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu? I'd better find out more. If it is true that the Yatagarasu showed up at the Kotopian embassy, what could he or they... What No doubt to steal any suspicious accounting records and release them publicly. Or, more likely, to steal secrets from the Kotopian embassy itself. Since the items that the Yatagarasu stole from there was sent to the police. What was it that the Yatagarasu sent to the police? I don't know the details. Anything related to the Yatagarasu's getting the top secret treatment. Still, I find it very ironic. By returning the stolen item to the police, it was proof positive that the Yatagarasu, they, had infiltrated the embassy on the same day as its staff member was killed. Criminals have a way of incriminating themselves, wouldn't you say? That would have to be the first time that the Yatagarasu has left evidence behind, correct? Yes, indeed. If you wish to learn more about the Yatagarasus, then I suggest you ask Faraday. Mr. Faraday? He happens to be the prosecutor in charge of the Yatagarasu case as well. He's the prosecutor in charge of both the KG-8 incident and the Yatagarasu case. Mr. Faraday really has a lot on his plate. What is it, little girl?
You're scary, mister.
Did you need something?
I want to trade these coins with you.
A fistful of dimes, quarters, and pennies, but it looks like you've exactly $1. Is this what you wanted? Is this what you want?
Aw, thanks. That's exactly what I needed.
Baby! Tiny baby! Could that child be here to watch the trial? How disrespectful for a child like that to be funning around inside the courthouse. Does no one have respect for this country's judicial system anymore?
Paperwork for the prosecutor's substitution is complete.
Why, you do even know how much time there is left before the trial resumes?
I'm so sorry.
I can have you mopping up this courthouse instead of protecting it in an instant. It's no bother, sir. Not being completely prepared could prove to be a perfect handicap for me. A proud one you are. You had better collect the evidence from Faraday and prepare yourself. It's time for your debut, Edgeworth. Does no one have any respect for this country's judicial system anymore? Bro, have you seen the judges at this place? Alright. Let's see. People von Karma is a little confused about what country he actually comes from. He's just a little bit older. He's just getting a little up there. It really sucks how similar they look to each other, you know? It really sucks. Just what is going on? Why isn't Faraday here yet? How is it possible that the defense is not prepared yet either? Bailiff, where is Mr. Faraday?
I'm not sure. I wasn't really paying attention.
Oh, hello. Ah, you must be the one Mr. Von Karma recommended. Yeah, it's the judge. I hear this will be your first trial. I look forward to seeing how you perform. Oh, by the way, was there someone celebrating a birthday during the recess? I could have sworn that I heard a popper going off. He's definitely from Austria and not Germany, and away on vacation between— oh my god. Come to think of it, the other day with my grandson. Sir, it looks like the trial is about to resume, however. Yes, it will be all but impossible to prove the fitness a liar without the evidence from Faraday. What is that blasted buffoon up to?
It's an emergency, sir.
Oh, gumshoe. It's an emergency, sirs. Silence. There's no yelling in this sacred hall of law. Bailiff, remove that man from this courtroom at once. Please, wait. You have to listen to me. This is an emergency. Defendant lobby number 2, Mr. Faraday and the defendant. The two of them, they're both dead, Your Honor. What? 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 Swiss roll. Swiss roll. Hello. Stay back. Someone deal with those ants? No one's allowed on the crime scene. Period. Oh my god. Just who does this oddball think he is? This is becoming quite the hot spot. Isn't she Mr. Well's defense attorney? Hey, you! No one in the hallway, pal! $8 ham sandwich. The economy is in shambles. I really hate how this is clearly supposed to be a joke, but I have seen, like, Subway sandwiches are like $14 now. And who are you to tell me what to do? I'll never find out what's going on like this. It's time for some civil discourse. Have you seen that one post about how, like, family members in Ace Attorney have similar sprites? Yes, I have! It hurts! Okay. Goodbye. First, I need to get a handle on the situation. Perhaps I should talk to some people. A poster of the judge. There's a longer slogan of some sort of it in tiny letters at the bottom. Alright. Every strike of my gavel brings the truth closer to me and my hair further away. Is this a promotional poster for the court or a hair growth product? A fire extinguisher. Jazz for your soul. If Wonder would be hit in the head with this. I suppose the victim would lose a memory or two. You said it, buddy. But it's not as though I'd ever be so foolish as to be struck by one of these. You said it, buddy. $5 footlongs got discontinued back in 2014. They all be $14 to $17 now. I miss her. Defendant lobby number 1 is through here. The incident took place in lobby number 2 next door. I shouldn't allow myself to be sidetracked like this. I'd better get a move on. A drink vending machine. Ah! Now is not the time to be pondering what kind of drink I want. Interesting. They're selling special court-themed food products here. Many of them seem sort of troublesome and suspicious. Objection, I suppose. $14 a bag, are you kidding me? This sofa looks like it's seen its fair share of use, and it looks like another part of the courthouse is visible from the window. My eyes have locked with my reflection's eyes in the barred window. As a student of Von Karma, I refuse to back the- Shut up, you're so stupid. You're so stupid! I hate you! And you are... Oh, me? Hey, pal. It's common courtesy to tell someone your name first before asking theirs. Point taken. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I am a district prosecutor. A prosecutor? I've never seen a prosecutor as young as you, pal. I've told you my name, so would you mind telling me yours? Detective Dick Gumshoe, and just recently, I achieved my dream of becoming a detective. More than a dream, it's what I was born to do. Wait, maybe I should check and make sure I'm not really in some crazy dream first. This detective is entirely too excited to be at a murder scene. Look at my badge. Oh, okay. He's 60, 40, 53, 32, whatever. Yeah, he's 26 here. He does not look 26. So, Detective Gumshoe, would you mind telling me what you know about the incident? I should have shown him my badge. You don't know that I have to you know that I don't have to tell you anything, right? I know that. But it would behoove you to- oh my god, shut the hell up, to fill you in on what you know. Well, you're a proud one for such a youngster, aren't you? Well, anyway, Detective Bad is the one in charge. So you're just gonna have to ask him for all the details, okay? As for me, I was guarding the door to defendant lobby number 2. So, you were on guard detail. Did you notice anything strange while you were on duty? Well, I freaked out when I heard a gunshot, and I kind of froze. You're a detective, and a measly gunshot scared you that much. Then again, I can hardly claim not to know what it's like to hear one at close range. Aw. Then Detective Bad came running to the scene. We went into lobby number 2 together, and both men were just lying there dead. Is that everything? Yeah, that's it. I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle. Interesting. Other than the gunshot, he didn't hear a single sound of commotion. Was in the hall on guard duty, other than a gunshot, did not hear a sign of a struggle. Look at my badge. You mentioned that you've only recently become a detective, did you not? You got it! I'm a brand spanking new detective! So that means you've probably never seen a real prosecutor's badge, right? If you're so desired to see one, I just might be able to make your day. You don't have to go through the trouble, pal, because a real man is a police badge. And someday I'm gonna become an ace detective, just like Detective Bad. Did I say something wrong, pal? Forget it, detective. Okay, let's talk to you. Do you have a minute? You know, I'm not really into talking to people I don't know. especially at a time like this. Ah, I apologize for not introducing myself before bothering you. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I was told to take Mr. Faraday's place in court. Edgeworth, huh? Never heard of you. So, Faraday's substitute is a newbie, huh? I'll have you know, madame, that I studied under Manfred von Karma. Oh my god. Do not take me for some naive novice. Do not take me for some naive novice. So you're a student of Von Karma? I swear. This clothes are a dead giveaway. Stop right there. These are the garments of one who gallantly presents the facts. Thanks for the great laugh, but try not to make me laugh so much, okay? I wasn't trying to do anything of the sort. Just kidding. I was just goofing around. By the way, do you know who I am? My name is Callisto Yu. And if you're telling the truth, then we were about to go head-to-head in court. Ah, but of course, I have heard much about you, Miss Yu. Ah, but of course, I have heard much about you. You're a regular Shakespeare. Did I say something funny? She's so silly. So she, like, killed them, right? Probably. It is a shame that we will not be able to face each other. It was to be my first trial, too. Oh, is that a declaration of war? How nice it is to be so young and carefree. And what a nice, squeaky clean badge you got there. I'm jealous. I'm sure its gleam will dull over time with experience. Are you saying your reputation will also tarnish over time with it? That's not what I meant. Well, you just can't avoid some things in life. I'll never allow my badge or my reputation to become tarnished. She's so silly. I'd like you to update me on the situation. I don't really know anything. Why don't you try talking to those detectives over there? If that's the case, then why are you here? What is so funny? It's just that the way you speak is so tactless. She's cooking you. The person I was going up against in court until only a little while ago was just murdered. It's not like I could go back into the courtroom pretending as though nothing happened. That's a good point. I apologize for asking such an insensitive question. It's fine. Don't worry about it. She's so silly. Hello. Oh my god. Excuse me, but who are you? Detective Tyrell Bad. Homicide. I was informed of the situation and came as quickly as possible. So, how did you arrive and inspect the body before me? Faraday requested for me to testify in the trial. Plain and simple. Mr. Faraday requested that you be here. And there we go. Look at my badge! Does showing that off make you feel like a big, strong prosecutor? Of course not. I was simply proving my title of prosecutor to you. I see. But most prosecutors don't go around flaunting those things. It's like a detective walking around outside with his badge flashing in the sunlight. Show that off too much and, before you know it, you'll be elbow deep in angry criminals. That would definitely be a problem. Good lord. I've already contacted HQ about the situation. I've got nothing to say to you, kid. Kid? I'm Mr. Faraday's substitute in today's trial. Therefore, I insist that you update me on the situation. I can't back down here. I have a right to know. Do I need to teach you a thing or two about how to talk to adults, kid? Is he threatening me? Is he going for his gun? Oh. It's just a mirror. How dare he trick me like that? Faraday was stabbed to death with some kind of blade, and he had a gun in his hand. The other man, Mr. Mackerel, was shot and killed. He was found holding a bloody knife in his hand. Was there anyone else who went into defendant lobby number 2? Yeah, that big lug over there. His name's Gumshoe. Hey, man. He was in charge of guarding the place. He's claiming that no one else entered the room. If that's the case, then they must have killed each other, correct? Maybe. Such impudence. This guy is really testing my patience. Why was I not informed that you were going to testify in court? Homicides aren't my only gig. The Yatagarasu case is also one of my assignments. So, you were called upon to comment on the Yatagarasu's characteristics. In order to assess if Mr. Faraday really was the Yatagarasu or not. Well, well. Looks like you just might have a brain after all in that head of yours, son. Son? I'm not your son, Pops! Shut.
Mrs. Yu! There is someone here who wishes to see you.
Who is it?
A Canopian embassy staff member by the name of Manny Cochin.
What? What's going on? Detective Bad and Miss Yu's moods just changed all of a sudden. Wait a second. Wasn't Manny Cochin? I'll be right there. And work, and work. It's nice to see you again, Mrs. Yu. Why are you here? I have no desire to ever see you again. Now. Actually, would you mind stepping outside for a brief chat? Fine, let's go. Oh, hey man. Oh my, he's moving! Bad. Von Karma. It's been a long time. I knew you would show up. You usually do when the Yatagarasu is involved, and I see this case is no exception. Do you know Detective Bad, sir? Yes, he's like an old bloodhound that never leaves the scene of a crime. If only he would get in a promotion and move on. It's the crime scene where a detective is most useful and effective. It's not like I don't know that. Moving on, so Bad. The man I just passed by. Was he not the suspect from the KG8 incident? That's why his face is long. Hound dog. So I was right. Just what is that man doing wandering around here? Is that Faraday? I can't believe he let such an easy catch get away. Imbecile. I would have proved his guilt in 3 minutes. Von Karma. I think you've said enough for now. It's in poor taste to speak like that about the departed. Very well. Back on topic. I'm placing Edgeworth in charge of the investigation here.
Objection!
Oh, baby! 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 Oh, she's so cute! Papa, how can you place him in charge? Francisco, what are you doing here? I'm here for summer vacation. What else? Baby! Baby! Tiny baby! Francisca von Karma, so she is here on vacation from Germany. She is the daughter of Manfred von Karma and a student of his who's also junior to me. You're Stefan, who's junior to me! And don't you forget it, can she read his mind? You're not conveniently avoiding the bar examination, are you? Ha! If you were able to pass, then I'll have absolutely no trouble at all. I'll never allow myself to lose to you. Never! Why does she always have to be this competitive? It's because Manfred is pitting you guys against each other, obviously. Anyway, Papa, are you really assigning Miles Edgeworth to cover the case? Yes, I am. Why do you ask? Well, you know, I'm close to becoming a prosecutor myself. And I am 100% confident that I can do a better job than him. That's just like Francisca. She has no problem bad-mouthing someone right in front of them. Bad. Yeah. These two will be conducting the investigation. What? You want me to let both of these kids loose on the crime scene? This is a perfect opportunity for them to work on their prosecutorial skills. A crime scene is not a place for children to be messing around in. I'm the one with authority of this crime scene, Bad. And I will not tolerate complaining. Edgeworth, Francisca, I leave this case to the two of you. Understood, sir. I'm seeing scruggly ass Francisca and tiny Edgeworth in the same room. Evil spy kids. Yes, Papa. I'll go take care of the paperwork now. Remember, I'll accept nothing but a perfect report from the both of you. Do not disappoint me. Hold up, Von Karma! I still haven't agreed to this!
Miles Edgeworth.
It's been quite some time, Francisca.
This will be the perfect chance for us to see which one of us is truly worthy of their Von Karma name.
Would it kill you to at least say hello?
Long time no see.
Very good.
Just because you became a prosecutor first doesn't mean you can act all proud.
She hasn't changed a bit.
Miles Edgeworth. As I was saying, we shall see which one of us is worthy of the Von Karma name.
We're crying out loud. Been reduced to a babysitter. The animation on that coat is really cool. It looks like Mr. Von Karma was successful in convincing the detective. That's just like him. He never fails. Now, I'd appreciate it if you could quickly run me through the facts, Detective Bad. You're better off checking things out on your own. Very well. Seems like getting help from Detective Bad will be a most arduous task. Murder. It's the only real explanation that they killed each other simultaneously?
Miles Edgeworth, you should listen to someone until they are finished talking.
What are you talking about?
I'll only say it one more time. This is a competition to see who is truly worthy of the Von Karma name.
A competition?
The person that figures out the truth first wins.
So the person who doesn't discover the truth is a dishonor to the name.
Exactly. I don't care that you became a prosecutor before me. I simply refuse to hear any more foolish things come from your foolishly foolish mouth.
Fine, whatever makes you happy.
Can I take such as you accepting my challenge?
Once again, whatever makes you happy.
Ha! Well then, let's begin the investigation, shall we? I'm going to find the perfect evidence and prettily present it like the professional I am.
Competing to discover the truth behind a crime. How delightfully childish. Oh ho ho ho. Oh ho ho ho. Oh, hey man. You kids, over there, hold it! Kid!
Ha! Serves you right, Miles. He just called you a kid.
I said kids, kid.
How dare you call me a kid as well?
I do what I please, and I won't allow you to cause a ruckus on my crime scene. Hey, big guy. You're gonna watch over these two.
Yes, sir. Detective Bad, sure. Now do what I say from now on, kids, okay? You better not get in our face, Scuffy. You'll feel the bite of my whip if you do. And then you, prosecutor boy. Let's get your investigation started already, alright?
Great. Now even that detective is treating me like a child.
Alright, it's time to get investigating. Get a move on, prosecutor boy.
My name is Miles Edgeworth. And if you were to call me prosecutor boy one more time, it will be my duty as a prosecutor to look into your monthly salary. Hey!
What? And what would you do with my salary after you saw how much it was?
That's up to you now, isn't it?
Really? Sounds good, pal.
He's so naive. All right. Detective Bad, may I have a word with you? What is it? It appears that both a knife and a gun were used as murder weapons. Yeah, it does. That leads us to our first question in the investigation. Where did the men acquire the weapons? The gun was inside of Faraday's bag. It was a piece of evidence that was presented in the trial earlier today. It was used to kill the Canopian Embassy staff member. But I never heard anything about the knife. Mr. Rell was being held by the police. There's no way he could have brought it in. Which means it's possible that Faraday had the knife on him from the start as well. Could it have been a piece of evidence that had yet to be presented? But then, why doesn't Detective Bad know about it? Wait, what if it's possible that Mr. Faraday brought the knife in under the guise of prosecutorial evidence? He could have then brought it out and attacked Mr. Rell with it. Huh. Maybe you've got a brain in there after all, kid. Is it going to treat me like a child forever?
It looks like Mr. Faraday attacked Mr. Ralph first, who then counterattacked. That's the only logical conclusion you can draw from a scene like this. Not yet. I feel it's much too early to be drawing conclusions already. I must first find conclusive evidence so as to protect the honor of the Von Karma name. The window is open, and there's a fresh, flowery scent in the air.
Ugh, the flowers in the garden down there are so gross and ghastly.
Do you think maybe you could try offering something useful for a change?
Well, at least there's no way someone escaped through the window, pal. They wouldn't wake up and smell the flowers after a fall from the 3rd floor.
Are you willfully ignoring the fact that there are also iron bars on the windows?
Yeah, I guess there's that too. Either way, no one could get through these windows, right?
They thought of everything when they were designing this courthouse. Very nice. Yeah, and yet 2 people died.
Whoa! What is it, Detective Gumshoe? My TV at home is so tiny compared to this one, pal.
Then perhaps you should purchase a more normal-sized television like this one.
Ooh, let me see here. Wow, this thing is huge! Ah! and way too noisy! You're the noisy one, Scruffy.
Don't touch it! You'll get your fingerprints all over it!
But I didn't touch it.
Preservation of the crime scene is the foundation of detective work. The foundation, huh? Sounds like something the rookie here needs to shore up on.
There's some stuff in the bag, pal.
I suppose this was Mr. Faraday's bag. Probably the trial evidence I was supposed to collect from him.
This is the evidence? Ah, I better not touch it. I'll leave prints on it.
Do you just not pay attention to anything you do? There are some plastic bags stacked up on the table. There's a tea set, too, but there doesn't seem to be any sign of a disturbance.
Yeah, the table's all neat and tidy. Maybe they were super quiet in their scuffle. After all, I didn't hear anything from out in the hallway, you know.
Maybe the plastic bags scattered on the floor are throwing us off. Hi, Charlie. The plant, Charlie. This decorative plant's foliage is quite nice. It's actually soothing to be around it. Perhaps I should purchase one for my room. Okay. That was really meaningful.
Ah, I see.
Did you figure something out?
This is a competition, Miles, and as such, I'd appreciate it if you didn't talk to me.
As you wish. Hi. Detective Bao, do you have any thoughts on the case? Faraday and Rel. Looks like they killed each other to me. Although, there are a few things that just don't seem right. And what would they be? Why don't you try thinking on your own first before you bother me, boy? Boy! Look at my head, boy.
What? Now I've been downgraded to just boy?
Hang on, I'm gonna put powder in my water. Boy. There we go. Okay, let's look at the dead bodies. It looks like Mr. Faraday fell on top of Mr. Rel. At first glance, it seems like they must have killed each other, however.
Using logic, the only logical conclusion is, aha! What was that outburst for? My detective instinct just hit me real hard. It was Mr. Rel that fell first, see? You don't need a detective's instinct for that. It's common sense.
But I suppose we won't know much more than that until after I examine the bodies. I won't rest. Yay! Say the line! bag. Why are there plastic bags scattered all around?
Those bags are for keeping evidence safe, pal.
I know that much, Detective.
You sure are good at this stuff, aren't you, pal?
Normally, I'd be happy when someone compliments me, but when it's this guy... Anyway, could these plastic bags be evidence of a fight between two men? Why is one of them bloody? Gun.
It looks like Mr. Faraday died by holding the gun in his right hand.
So he shot Mr. Rell and then fell on top of him while still gripping the gun.
I guess that does seem kind of strange, huh? I mean, why would Mr. Faraday know how to fire a gun?
It's not exactly rocket science. Even I know how to pull a trick.
Oh, God!
Although I doubt I'll ever need to use...
It hurts. I hope I never have to fire a gun either, pal.
But it sure does look cool to hold a gun in your hands. It appears that the police screening procedures need a thorough review. Anyway, I should jot down some notes about the handgun in Mr. Faraday's hand. Mr. Faraday. How ironic it is for him to lose his life in a courthouse.
Yeah, why did it have to be like this? I don't know what to say. I can't believe this happened while I was on watch, pal.
Rather than beating yourself up, you should spend your time continuing the investigation. Didn't you become a detective in order to solve crimes?
Yeah.
Then get back to work. Find out the cause of his murder.
Right, I'm on it, pal.
First, he killed a Cadopian embassy staff member, then he was murdered himself.
This guy wasn't exactly an angel, you know.
Oh? What makes you say that?
Well, he's been hauled into the precinct several times for theft and assault, pal. So, yeah, he's definitely the type to have committed a murder or two.
Well, he did admit to killing Mr. Dead Man.
Hey, good point, pal. I knew my detective's intuition was telling me something.
Detective's intuition?
Yep. Do you know about it? It's a special feeling that all
We don't have time for this conversation right now. Let's return to the investigation. Knife.
Looks like Mr. Rell died with a knife in his hand.
There's some blood stuck on it.
Then he must have used this as a weapon. Yep, no doubt about it.
Was Mr. Faraday carrying this on his personage? Did he bring this as a piece of evidence for the trial? Or did he bring it with a very different intention in mind? I should jot some notes down about it. Oh, what's that? His hand is all black.
His hand is all black down here, see? I wonder what it could be.
If you look closely, this blotching pattern resembles an ink stain. Well, if you write a certain way, that side of your hand will get, graphite and shit on it. Yes, I usually get ink on my own hand when I use my feather pen.
A feather pen? I've never seen one before. Surely you aren't just making it.
He writes with, I'm gonna kill him. I hate this guy. I hate him. Mr. Rell's cause of death was from being shot, correct?
That's what we think, but it's hard to tell with him lying face down.
Death is bad enough, but it's truly lamentable that someone would try to hide the truth.
Are you sure they were trying to hide something?
I can't confirm Mr. Rell's cause of death was his body positioned down like that. Detective Bad, I'd like to examine the bodies in further detail if possible.
What's this? I'm not able to form a stereo semsifacer.
I believe an examination of the bodies is vital to finding the perfect evidence, don't you?
I suppose you do have a point. Well, hurry up and get on with it.
Labby.
Yes, sir. We've taken enough photos of the scene, sir.
And there you have it. Do you not approve? Of course not.
What?
Investigation of a crime scene is the work of a detective, so don't touch a thing. Hey, big fella, turn over the bodies for me, will ya?
Okay. Please forgive me, Mr. Faraday, sure.
Gumshoe, do not get emotionally involved. Remember, you're a detective.
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Oh. Yay! Mr. Faraday is holding a gun in his right hand.
That's the one Mr. Rell got blown away by, right?
Labby, your answer?
Yes, sir. We found the ballistic markings do match that gun.
Oh, ballistic mark. Say the line, say the line, say the line, say the line. Are the figurative fingerprints of gun leaves and a bullet was fired? Yahoo! Let's go! Every gun leaves its own unique ballistic markings. Therefore, by looking at the markings on a bullet, you can tell which gun it came from.
Yeah, that's it. Of course, I already knew all about that, pal.
Maybe you'd be better off going back to the academy.
Come on, sure. Cut me some slack, will ya?
So the bullet that was fired from this gun is what felled Mr. Rell. Wound.
There's a knife wound in his chest here, see?
I wonder if the wound matches the knife Mr. Rell is holding. Labby,
Yes, sir. Verifying now, sir.
make it quick. From the look of things, one could deduce that the knife Mr. Rell is holding is what killed Mr. Faraday. Pen. There's something in his breast pocket. It's a fountain pen.
Yeah, you know, I always keep a pencil behind my ear. It's because Detective Bad is always telling me, you should always write your name on everything you own.
Yes, somehow you do strike me as quite a forgetful individual. Shot in the chest.
It takes some guts to fire a gun in a courthouse. I mean, I've been a detective for a whole week and I still haven't fired a single round yet.
There aren't any burn marks on his clothes. That must mean...
Wait, burn marks?
A round grows very hot as it is discharged from a firearm. Therefore, burn marks are usually left when a shot is fired from point-blank range. Ergo, oh my god, Mr. Rell must have been shot from at least a yard or two away.
You sure do know a bunch of neat stuff for your age, pal.
Apparently, this detective has much common sense as your everyday marsupial. Does it say... He's 22.
He's only 13, baby. Tiny baby. That guy's 24? No, he's not. No, he's not. That man is not 24. What happened to him?
Let us now try to understand how the two men died. First, Mr. Faraday took the gun and the knife out from today's trial evidence. And then he aimed the gun at Mr. Rell and fired. However, Mr. Rell managed to grab the knife and counter Mr. Faraday while being shot. Then the two men fell together where they stood. That is my theory in any case.
What a crazy way to go.
Still, something about that explanation just doesn't seem right. I believe I now have a firmer grasp on what happened here. Let's see, there's still something we're missing here. Knife. Looks like Mr. Faraday was stabbed with this knife that Mr. Rell is holding.
Ouch!
What's wrong, detective?
My stomach started to hurt from just thinking about being stabbed.
Just keep your mind on the case, alright? Okay, there we go. Right, looks like we got everything. Oh. The TV has been left on.
Why are you looking at me like that? I wasn't me, I didn't touch anything.
Gumshoe, you do know what will happen to you if you touch something. Again. Right?
I won't touch anything. I won't even go anywhere near the TV, sure. And you, get back to your investigation, alright?
I was planning to do so anyway. Alright, nothing to do except... Oh, we can talk to Gumshoe.
I'm so excited, pal. This is my first real crime scene. Let's get investigating.
Detective Gumshoe, I thought investigations were supposed to be conducted in a calm, collected manner.
Huh. What do you know about running an investigation, little boy prosecutor?
I know that at the very least I have a greater grasp than you of what happened here.
Why, you don't know any more than me, pal. Look, you just stay behind me, boy, and out of the way.
Ironic coming from the guy that's been a step behind me the entire case.
This is my first time setting foot inside the courthouse. I would have thought that'd be for my first case as a detective. But you know, I get the feeling I'll be coming here a lot more in the future.
As a suspect, detective.
Of course not, pal. Anyway, this lobby's actually pretty luxurious. I mean, for a defendant's lobby, it's got a pretty big TV. Oh, and there's that tea set on the table over there. Bet you didn't know that I like to drink tea. Oh, this room really is decked out. If it means spending time in here, maybe being a suspect isn't such a bad thing after all.
I'm beginning to suspect that leaving this detective in charge of anything might be bad. But he is right, this room is rather well furnished. And somewhere in this room, the truth is slumbering. It's time to find it and give it a wake-up call. Alright. Yeah, let's do some logic. This is probably connected. Yeah. That splotch on Mr. Faraday's hand. I wonder if it might be the ink from his fountain pen.
Ooh, let's ask the lamp guy.
Detective Gumshoe, I confirm that the substance on Mr. Faraday's hand is the ink from his fountain pen.
I see. Good work. You know, I've always wanted to say that, even if it was just one time in my life.
If Mr. Faraday wrote this with his fountain pen in his left hand, I think it's fair to assume that he was left-handed. It appears that Mr. Faraday's pen is very important to our case as well.
Okay, if you say so, pal.
So... he's left-handed, so why is the gun in his right hand? That doesn't make any sense, so this was probably a setup. And they were both murdered by someone else. Oh wait, I wonder if I can deduce anything. Deduce? No. Okay. Neat and tidy table. This? Yeah. There was a very tidy pile of plastic bags on the table. And yet, a portion of them wound up scattered on the floor as well. Not likely that the ones on the floor were knocked over during a struggle. In which case, might there not be another explanation as to how they got there? Another region? I believe that it's possible that the blood on the outside of the bag is related somehow.
Please get that blood away from me, pal.
Detective Gumshoe, whose blood is on this bag?
Hold on, let me ask the lamp guy.
Alright, please hurry.
Wait till you get a load of this, pal. It's Mr. Faraday's. Oh, and the technician said that they didn't find anything else on or in the bag either.
It would appear that this bag is a very important piece of evidence.
Okay, if you say so. I leave it in your hands, pal. I guess there's not much left to investigate, huh? They really did kill each other.
No, we can't conclude that quite yet. There's still something I find very peculiar here. The theory that they simply killed one another is too simplistic in this case. In fact, there is actually a contradiction that shows there is another possibility. It's the hand, it's the gun.
No way, pal. Really?
I suppose I will just have to show you the contradiction in this crime scene. Well, yay, It's this. And then... left-handed. Now, we come face to face with the contradiction I spoke of, and it is this. Mr. Faraday used his left hand to write with his fountain pen. Ergo, he is left-handed. And yet, the handgun is in his right hand. Don't you find it odd that the left-handed Mr. Faraday would hold the gun in his right hand? That, ladies and gentlemen, is the great contradiction haunting this crime scene.
Hey, you're right, pal. That does seem kind of strange. But how could something like that happen?
The facts add up to one conclusion, and one alone. Someone else put the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand after he died.
Someone else?
Plastic bags scattered on the floor and a gun in the wrong hand. I sense the presence of a shadowy figure behind this case. A person of vile intent who is serious about keeping the truth from us. There we go. Yay! One day. Here's the autopsy report. She's so short.
It is probable that Mr. Lal survived for a short time after he was shot. However, Mr. Faraday died instantaneously from his stabbing. Interesting. It looks like we now know everything we need to know about this case.
Are you sure we know everything?
Of course! The incident began with Mr. Faraday attempting to get his revenge. The prosecutor attempted to evade from being accused and tried to kill the defendant.
The window is open. I could see the wind blowing the plastic baggies, but how everything is set up is kind of hard. Yeah, we have to go from like... It's a little too specific in this area, I feel, to not be a setup. Like, they're only there. If it was the wind, they would probably be blown all over the room or something.
But the defendant fought back and they ended up killing each other. It's all very clear and simple. There's absolutely no margin for doubt.
Do you really believe that to be the truth?
Ha! Are you saying that just because I figured out the truth before you, that you don't want to believe it's true? It's alright. If you disagree with my argument, then prove me wrong. Well, if there is any contradictions to be found, that is.
Don't worry, I will. Let's go!
Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous, while Mr. Held survived for a short time. From this, it is obvious that Mr. Faraday died after he shot Mr. Hell. And Mr. Hell, while on the brink of death, stole Mr. Faraday's knife and stabbed him. Those are the facts of this case.
Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous, therefore he must have attacked first. Proving that logic to be false is probably the fastest way to show her that she's wrong. In that case, I should look for any holes in her theory. Let's see. Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous, while Mr. Rell survived for a short time. And thus it is obvious that Mr. Faraday died after he shot Mr. Rell. Mr. Rell on the brink of death, so... Okay. This seems fine. This doesn't... I don't know how to prove that wrong. Yeah, I think... Yeah, let's just press this.
Hold it!
Mr. Faraday shot Mr. Rell before he died. Do you have any basis for that statement?
Your foolishness has no end, does it? Now, I hate to repeat myself, however, Mr. Faraday died instantaneously. That's all the basis I need.
Alright, so if Mr. Faraday died instantaneously, then he must have attacked Mr. Rell before being stabbed.
You're finally beginning to catch on, I see.
Okay.
Well, no! If it was instantaneous, why would he be on top? That doesn't make it- that- no.
Objection!
This is the piece of- no, what? What's Edgeworth? You dared to bluff through this by presenting an unrelated evidence. It's not unrelated. You're a disgrace to the Von Karma name.
Can I have it all wrong? No.
Well, like...
Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous, so... Mr. Faraday died after he shot Mr. Rell.
But... why would he be on top?
Hang on, I'm gonna save real quick. I'm gonna just press everything and see what that leads to and if that helps.
Hold it!
Do you truly believe that Mr. Faraday died instantaneously?
I have the murder report right here. Mr. Faraday died instantaneously of shock due to being stabbed in the chest. There, you see? It's been documented clear as day.
Okay.
Hold it!
So you believe that the dying Mr. Rell stole the knife from Mr. Faraday?
Mr. Rell became desperate as he did not want to die.
Human beings can do amazing things when they are put to the test. So, the two men struggled, and in the end, Mr. Well was able to grab the knife and stab Mr. Faraday. The messy condition of this room is a testament to their struggle. Yes, and logic is perfectly sound. Can you really say that? It's perfect. What are you insinuating? Nothing. However, I can't let you slide by without further inquiry. One must be clear and precise. And so if you could append that statement to your testimony, there we go. Yeah, it's not even that messy. Fine. They struggled and Mr. Rell used the last of his strength to counterattack Mr. Faraday. Press this. About this statement. Mr. Rell used all of his remaining strength to take the knife and defended himself. One can easily see that they had a violent struggle. Of course, it's nothing compared to what my riding crop can do. How does one compare the damage your crop can do with the state of this room? Furthermore, all the plastic bags on this floor in this room were scattered there due to the fight. Is there... Pardon me. Is there anything else I can explain for you? No, that will be fine. Okay, something here. Mr. Rell used the last of his strength to counterattack Mr. Faraday. Something here. Didn't hear a sign of it. Probably this? There we go. If the two men were fighting, their struggle would have surely caused quite a bit of noise. However, Detective Gumshoe has testified that he heard absolutely nothing. Ha! You place too much faith in that detective's testimony, you know. But for the sake of argument, let's say there wasn't a fight. How then did Mr. Vell get his hands on the knife? Mr. Faraday's bag was sitting right here in Detective Lobby number 2. It is not hard to imagine that perhaps Mr. Rell saw a chance and took it out at some point. So, what you're saying is this. Mr. Rell took a chance when he saw the opportunity and took the knife from the bag. And then Mr. Faraday shot Mr. Rell after being stabbed? Isn't there something strange in Franziska's statement just now? Yes? Wait, something doesn't add up. Oh, really? It's simply not possible for Mr. Faraday to have shot Mr. Rell after being stabbed. Well, it said it was instantaneous.
Take that!
According to the coroner's report, Mr. Faraday died instantaneously, meaning that he died immediately upon being stabbed by the knife. Ergo, he could have not possibly fired the gun after that. Ooh, you got me. But of course. Well then, if the report is correct, then there's only one correct explanation. If we suppose that Mr. Vell attacked first, then Mr. Faraday, who died instantaneously, would have been unable to kill Mr. Vell. Therefore, Mr. Vell must have stabbed Mr. Faraday after he was shot. Then they both died. That is the only explanation that makes logical sense. Negating your opponent's ideas in order to prove your own theory. I see you've been studying, Franziska. I just wanted to explain it to you as simply as possible, before you foolishly propose a foolish theory that only a foolish fool like you could. How naive of you to believe that only your opinions are valid, and still expect to discover the truth that the crime scene offers you. Don't you waggle your finger at me. His hands are so big. Franziska, you've still got a ways to go. What are you talking about? Are you saying there's a flaw in my logic? Mr. Faraday died instantly. And the fact that he did is what gives rise to the contradiction in the scene. She's so baby. Contrast here in the crime scene is the order the bodies fell. Let me get this straight. What you're arguing is this. Mr. Faraday took the gun from his evidence bag and shot Mr. Rell. Then, the wounded Mr. Rell found an opportunity to take the knife and strike back. Upon being stabbed, Mr. Faraday died on the spot and Mr. Rell died thereafter. If that's the case, then how do you explain this? Take a good look at the order in which their bodies are piled. No! Mr. Faraday's body is lying on top of Mr. Rell's. Therefore, Mr. Rell must have died before Faraday. I mean, like... It could have been that Rell just lost his strength, but he was alive for a couple more seconds. I don't know.
Impossible!
Yes, I agree that it seems strange no matter what angle you approach it from. Which means that the real mystery behind this crime scene that we must solve is...
No, not so fast, Miles Edgeworth.
What now?
I simply think that you ought to think a little bit more outside the box. And that it's even clearer now that the incident started with Mr. Faraday's murderous intent.
She sure bounced back quickly. An explanation won't be enough this time. Going to take some very decisive evidence to prove her wrong. Drinking my order.
It was just chance that Mr. Faraday's body fell on top of Mr. Rell's. The two bodies fell into a pile, which indicates that they attacked each other at the same time. It really doesn't matter in the slightest as they fell in the opposite order.
I mean, she does have a point. I just know that Ziska's explanation isn't absolutely correct. All I have to do is find a hole in her logic. Once I do, I can then present her with the evidence that proves the contradiction. There's just a chance that Mr. Faraday's body fell. Okay, press.
Hold it!
Objection! Pressing someone's testimony only to get some time to sink. You're a real one-trick pony, aren't you? It's too bad to see your trick only works on fools.
That wasn't my intent! I simply wish for more details as to how Mr. Faraday ended up on top of Mr. Rell.
Someone's impatient. I was just about to explain everything to you. So do you think you could hold on for a minute?
Oops. Ah! Francisca, I'll make you a deal. I'll hold on if you hold on to that whip of yours.
Oh, I'll hold on to it all right, as I whip you.
Oops.
Well, now that you've quieted down a bit, I'd like to continue, if you don't mind. She's just a little thing.
Hold it!
The two fell on top of each other. Don't you find that to be just a bit strange?
Not at all.
Ah! I can see it in her eyes. She's dead set against me from the bottom of her heart.
Miles Edgeworth, once I'm done here, you'll see that there's nothing strange at all. Now then, the two men fell into a pile, which indicates that they attacked each other at the same time.
Huh.
Hold it!
Is that really the case? What do you mean they attacked each other at the same time?
I assume Mr. Faraday had the two different weapons in his hands. He made to attack Mr. Rell while holding both the knife and the revolver. And then, after Mr. Faraday fired the gun, Mr. Rell grabbed the knife as he was falling and stabbed Mr. Faraday. That is how Mr. Rell wound up on the bottom with Mr. Faraday on top. At close range, that is more than possible.
Yes, it is possible, but...
Well, if you have any other ideas, then show me what you've got.
Oh, I will. And to that extent, I'd like for you to append what you just said to your testimony.
I don't see any point to that, but as you please.
It indicates that they attacked each other at the same time from close range. No! No, because there's no gunpowder burn on his clothes suggesting he was shot from a few yards away. Incorrect.
Objection!
Incorrect. You are wrong. So you believe that they killed each other at close range. Sorry, but that's impossible. Just as it is written in the crime scene notes, the firing of the handgun did not leave a gunpowder burn on Mr. Rell's clothes. Therefore, Mr. Rell and the gun must have been separated by a distance of at least 2 or 3 yards. Yes, this is by far the biggest contradiction. The two bodies are piled up on each other, yet the gun was fired from a distance. And with there being no chance that Mr. Rell moved that far after being shot, that leaves only one possible explanation.
What a completely foolish shot from a thoroughly foolish fool! If I'm not right, then who was it that made the first move with the intent to kill, huh? Who?
The person that attacked first with murderous intent, that would be neither. Here in this room, contradictions appear no matter which man we claim attacked first. Thus, there can be only one explanation. There was a third person here. It was that third person who killed both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell, and set their bodies up to make it look like a double murder. That third person is the real culprit.
Miles Edgeworth, there's just one thing you're missing.
Evidence, correct?
Exactly.
Everything you said. Oh, hang on. Why isn't it? Come on. There we go. Sir, if you put your finger in my face once again, I'm gonna bite it. She would.
Exactly. Everything you've said up until now is nothing but a story played out in your head. However, this is where the real test begins. Can you prove that there was a third person involved in this crime?
She'd whip it? Yeah, she would. Of course. If a third person truly was here, that fact would resolve the glaring contradiction. The proof that this all has been a setup, made to look like they killed each other. I'll present it, and lay bare the final piece of the puzzle that is not yet in place. What is the piece of evidence that proves that there is a third person involved? This.
Take that!
Oh, shit.
And how exactly is this related? Do you think that you could explain it to me?
There is no need for an explanation.
Well, I have no idea how it's related, so could you please explain it to me?
Yes, well, let me guess. You can't explain it, can you?
It would appear that I was wrong. There's definitely a contradiction here. And it should resolve itself if there truly was a third person here. I just need to go over the evidence in my thoughts once again. What is the piece of evidence that proves that there is a third person involved? I feel like it's this. This?
Take that!
There we go. The gun in Mr. Faraday's hand and the plastic bag with his blood on it. These two items point to the presence of a third person.
How so?
Recall Detective Gumshoe's testimony. I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle. If there wasn't a struggle in this room, then there shouldn't be any plastic bags on the ground. Meaning that someone else must have deliberately scattered them around. Stop! Do you not see the possibility in this? Disregarding the gun for the moment, there's a high probability of blood splatter when a knife is used on a person. Hitting him with a giant rock. If the culprit held the knife with a plastic bag around it, they could use the bag to catch any blood splatter from when they withdrew the knife. Then, by spreading a few more plastic bags around, mixing the bloody one in with them, and arranging the room to make it look like there was a struggle between the two, they were able to conceal their presence. Looks like they still got a long way to go in this investigation. Yes.
Objection!
Hello? Why do you sound like that? What the heck's up with you, pal?
Mr. Bad, I advise you to place Detective Gumshoe under arrest.
What? It's weird to see him standing. What's the meaning of this?
Ha! Looks like you're not man enough to discipline your own subordinates.
Don't you dare.
The detective claims he was there, standing in front of the door the entire time. But I have it on good authority that it was all a giant lie.
Monsieur, I ask that you please explain that last statement.
I'll let His Honor explain it himself.
I saw it with my own eyes. I tell you. During the recess, there was a period of time when there was no one in the hallway.
What? See, Mr. Bad? So I ask you, why would a detective who was supposedly doing his job the whole time want to fabricate such a lie?
Gumshoe, did you kill Faraday?
No! Of course not, sure. It would appear as the one who sets the whole crime setup is a detective. Which basically renders his testimony a complete lie and wholly invalid. It looks like your perfect logic has just come tumbling down, Miles.
I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle. Was that statement really a lie? Detective Gumshoe, you're now a suspect in the murder of 2 men. Now spit out the truth, or so help me!
I haven't lied to anyone, sure, honest. I really was there. I really was there. I was in the hallway the whole time.
Hold it!
Detective Bad, I ask that you please do not act without my permission. After all, I am the one that is heading up this investigation, am I not? Don't talk like you know what's going on, boy. He just smacks his hand out of the air. All I want is for this investigation to run perfectly.
Perfection is the only fish of a disciple of Uncommon, after all.
Therefore, before you take Detective Gumshoe into custody, I'd like to set the record straight on something. And what's that? What did I ask Detective Gumshoe about? Stay to the hallway? Detective Gumshoe, I take it that no one else was in the hallway then at any time, correct?
Huh? Of course not, pal.
You're being awfully defensive. Might you be hiding something from me?
Watch your mouth, pal. You can't go around saying stuff like that about me without any evidence.
I suppose you're right. I have no evidence at this point.
How's that fuss? How can you be losing a battle of wits with this detective? You're a disgrace. Oops.
Maybe I should ask about something else. I guess that... Detective Gumshoe, why were you missing from the hallway for a span of time?
Look, pal, like I said, I was there the whole time, okay?
There is testimony against you that...
How's Edgeworth? Why are you wasting our time with a completely useless question?
Huh?
The only logical reason as to why he was absent is that he was busy committing the crime. Anyone who says otherwise is a fool.
Maybe I should ask about something... What? I suppose the one thing I'd like clarified is Detective Gumshoe's motive for committing this crime. Motive, huh? Gumshoe, you got a grudge against Faraday or anything?
No, sir. Not me. Not a single bad thing against Mr. Faraday, sir.
Is that a fact?
Objection!
You really have a problem with lying, don't you, Detective Gumshoe?
I'm telling you, I am not lying.
The more unnatural you act, the more suspicious you become, you know. If you want a motive, Edgeworth, I have one for you right here. Could you please share it with us? However, be forewarned that I won't hesitate to object to flights of fancy, because all I'm interested in is the perfect explanation. Hi, John Doe. Yeah, Charlie, do this.
You're serious, aren't you?
Fine. You amuse me, so I'll hammer you with a little courtroom practice. It was about a week ago. I saw the detective get chewed out by a livid Faraday in front of the precinct. He stood there super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "That's a salary cut for you, you nitwit!" A brand new detective suddenly getting his salary cut. That's reason enough for a grudge. Well, how's that for the perfect explanation? I just noticed the little wings are yeah! You totally misunderstood me, pal. No matter how mad I get, I could never hold a grudge. Quiet. We can't trust anything you say. Sure. There's nothing wrong with the motive she proposed, per se. But there are some gaps in her logic that need to be filled in. Miss Yu's perfect explanation may not be so perfect at all. Her objection her voice is so much deeper than I thought it would be.
Hold it!
So I'm just gonna stick with the voice I have now. A week ago. About a week ago. Then you and Detective Gumshoe were acquaintances. No way. I only met him in person today. Then how did you know about Detective Gumshoe? Oh, I've seen him around before.
Hold it!
Mr. Faraday was upset. Oh god. I'm good. Yeah, you know what else? Mr. Faraday isn't exactly known to get angry often. But there he was, totally beat red in the face. And the offending detective just stood there, pale as a ghost, like he was about to die. I just noticed her yee ass earrings. It's kind of a look. I can't lie. This is a mess. This shirt with this, like these shades, this is a mess. This is like a straight up mess. But the earrings, like she's working those earrings. But like, I feel like, what is this ghost trick ass shirt and tie with what the hell is happening with this jacket? Like, what? Just looks the face he's making now, right? I'm completely innocent, I tells you. The poor man. It was good to see you with the detective. Your ass cannot pull off that fit. It's like, no, like, she's not the funny banana man, but like, even the funny banana man was consistent. He had consistency going. Anyway, she's clearly the bad guy because she's wearing that white ass tie. It's like that, how has that happened? How has this happened like multiple times with this white tie being the sign of the person who killed someone? Like, hi for you, hello. But yeah, it's like, it's not so much the disparate parts of it, it's, well no, that jacket is really bad. That jacket is really bad.
Hold it!
You just stood there watching this unfold in front of you. Yeah, I have to say it was really enjoyable too. But that's why when I saw Detective Gumshoe earlier, I knew to steer clear of him. No way. I thought it was because I had something stuck on my face. But you do! Huh? What if I got stuck on my face? Let's start with your eyes, nose, mouth. Oh. Those ridiculous eyebrows. Huh? Oh man! Messing with your head is just too much fun! Miss Yu, if you don't mind, I'd like to return to your testimony now. Sure, why not? Alright, press this. Can we kill her? To cut a new detective's salary right off the bat like that. I'm not really familiar with the way you guys relate, but is that a common practice? Speaking of cutting my salary, didn't you threaten to do that to me earlier too? I suppose I did. It's only natural to cut a first-list detective's salary down to their actual verse. My father can even fire anyone, new or old, with a snap of his fingers. Maybe that's the reason enough for detectives to hate you. Well, I guess. They really shouldn't cut people's pay. Detective Bad, don't tell me Mr. Von Karma cut your salary earlier. Can we ban her for clearly being evil? Can you not brag about being a Nepo baby for 5 minutes?
Hold it!
You call your explanation perfect. Is it not to your liking? When does this game take place? Main game takes place in 2019, and this is 2 years earlier, so it's like 2012 right now, so yeah. Unfortunately for you, it's just not up to my standards. Oh, is there something you want me to clarify in that case? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Sure. Alright, if you could clear this one thing up for me. Well, yeah, what about Mr. Rell? I understand Detective Gumshoe's potential motive for killing Mr. Faraday. Yeah, but this is what, like, 2008 thought 2019 would be, yeah. Or what 2008 thought 2012 would be. However, what about his motive for killing Mr. Rell? His motive for killing Mr. Rell? Like I would know. Huh. If there was no clear motive for both of the murders, then I doubt this incident would have occurred. Wouldn't you agree? Is there anyone else who might have had a grudge against either of the two men? Or should we look into that ourselves? Oh, in that case, I have absolutely no idea. What? But that's impossible. She must know something. Wait. Please not glare at me like that. It makes me laugh. I didn't even do anything, and you're already laughing away. Well, anyway, the way I see it is, as long as he had a motive to kill one of the two, this crime would have played out the way it did anyway. Oh, would you care to explain your logic? Stop! And this time, please try to provide a truly perfect explanation. Perfect this, perfect that. Stop being so tight. Is that a requisite trait for being a fun karma? Now, Edgeworth, I demand you shut this rude woman up. I wish you'd both be quiet for just 1 second. Oh, God. Oh, well, I guess I'll just have to explain it to you kids. You're like 3 years older than him. Wait, how old is he here? I'm curious. He's 20. She's like 4 years older than him. There's no one out. Oh, wait, yeah, hang on. She's 2 years older than him. There's no one out here with a motive to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. All you really have to establish is that someone had a grudge against one of the two men. Why is she here? She wants to be here. She wants to be here. Let her be here. Mr. Rell, who happened to be there, became a witness to Mr. Faraday's murder. Therefore, he was killed out of necessity and set up to look like they'd kill each other. I wonder if that's really true. Is there no one out there with a grudge against both men? I should take another hard look at the evidence for this morning's case. The second KG-8 incident, as people are calling it, involving a embassy staff member, and the two men who both wound up as suspects in this case. Is there someone else I'm overlooking who is somehow related to them? Let's see. Well, CCU. That's clearly someone related to her because her name's Callisto U. Manny Cochin? Maybe? The badge! Well, clearly it's her, but I'm just like wondering what the game wants us to think. Like, does it want us to present Manny Cochin? There's no one out there with a motive to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell.
Hold it!
So there is no one else who might have a grudge against both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. I suppose no one is a bit of a stretch. But I'm pretty sure no one like that was here in this courthouse today. Just lying through her teeth. We just saw someone like that here earlier. It was definitely Manny Cochin. Besides, you don't need to prove that the killer had a grudge against both men.
Hold it!
Someone with a grudge against one of the men. In that case, aren't there plenty of other people who fit that bill? Sure. After all, who doesn't garner scorn from another simply by being alive? But the only one who held a grudge and acted upon it by killing was Detective Gumshoe. Furthermore... Okay, and you press this. So you're saying that he was basically silenced. Aren't you glad you managed to avoid the same fate, Your Honor? Why, if you'd been the one to witness the blood-covered detective... What? Detective Gumshoe? You would kill even me? What? I could never do something as terrible as that, Your Honor. There's no need for even a second of deliberation. I will hand down my verdict here. Your Honor, take a look around. We are not in court right now. It would be greatly appreciated if you'd stay here with us in reality. Please forgive me. I know not what I do. And you there, monsieur. Hurry up and continue with your testimony. If you fail to do so, I will whip you into shape. Hahaha, that's nice. Sounds kind of like fun, actually. What? Anyway, Detective Gumshoe had to erase the witness, Mr. Rell. Therefore, he was killed out of necessity, and look until they killed each other.
Hold it!
Yeah, the judge is here. I didn't do it, pal. No hard feelings, but I don't think we can take the word of a criminal seriously. But I can't even begin to think of ways to shut up a crime scene. I suppose he do lacks the necessary tactical mind required to do such a thing. Why do we have to kick a man when he's down, pal? You should put yourself down, detective. You're a big boy. I bet you thought it up all by yourself, right? Yeah, that's right. And I worked real hard at it, too. I think this proves one thing about the detective. He has the mental acuity of a worm. I have to admit, her explanation makes sense. However, there's also something she overlooked in her testimony. I should present that piece of evidence and see if I can't make her see the truth. There's no one out there with a motive. I disagree. I'll present this.
Objection!
There we go. Miss Yu, I believe there is someone you overlooked in making your statement. Or rather, is it because you'd rather not bring this person up? What do you mean? Would Edgeworth still love Gumshoe if he was a worm? We are already looking for someone with a reason to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. 1 second. Alright. I can think of at least one person that fits that bill. He was the suspect in the original KG-8 incident. And a member of the Cadopian Embassy staff, Mr. Manny Cochin. That's right. Oh god, he looks really bad for 24. The very man who came to visit you earlier out in the hallway. The man who killed a member of the Cadopian Embassy staff, Mr. Rell. And the man who was the lead prosecutor of the KG-8 incident, Mr. Faraday. Are you telling me that Mr. Cochin has no reason at all to kill both of these men? Well, I suppose he might have a reason or two. You covered for me, pal! Maybe you're not such a bad guy after all. Don't get ahead of yourself. You're still a suspect, make no mistake about that. The perfect evidence, the perfect testimony. These are the only things I wish to hold. But I didn't do it! Huh. You will stay under my authority and go investigate Mr. Manny Cochin for me. And remember, I will not be very forgiving should any of this leak out. You want to investigate Cochin? You'd just be wasting your time. And why is that? Cochin was up in the viewing gallery, watching the trial. Or so I was told. Every cop in this place has been keeping an eye on the guy since he arrived. Since the only real suspect we have is still Detective Gumshoe. I suppose so. No way. Oh, come on, Detective Bad. You gotta believe me, sure? I really was in that hallway the whole time, sure? I never took a single step into this room, sure? Okay, then are you saying there was someone else who passed through the hallway? No. There was no one else, sure? Then why should I believe you didn't do it? Such as one incredibly foolish detective, standing out in front of a crime scene all by himself. It's as good as a confession of guilt. I have to admit, it's a bit strange. Most criminals will fabricate some sort of lie to escape their crimes. And if that detective really wanted to prove that he is innocent, you'd think he would at the very least offer up a "I spaced out while on duty" or the like. Come on, Detective Gumshoe. Time for your interrogation. Oh. Detective Bad. He's so sad. Why is he moving like a Mega Man character? What is this idle animation? He's huffing and puffing. Well, Edgeworth, I will go on ahead and report this to Papa. And that, as they say, is that. Right, everyone? Oh, ho, 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 ho. Well, I suppose we should both be getting back to our real jobs now, huh? Before we do, Miss Yu, there's something I'd like to speak with you about. What is it? Everything is neat and tidy on top of the table within the single disturbance in sight. Pleasant breeze is blowing through this window. If only I could exchange it with the stifling atmosphere of this crime scene. Blunt. The television has been left on to preserve the— It's not on! And will stay on until the police are finished with their investigation. But they think nothing of saving electricity. How bothersome. It's Mr. Faraday's bag. The evidence for the trial of the embassy staff's murder is in here. And if things had gone smoothly, they would now be mine. It's on the Blank Void show. Oh, okay. They're watching the newest episode of Black Mirror. Wow, 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 wow. Including the 2 weapons in the double murder, the knife and the gun, I suppose. These plastic bags look like they fell here by chance at the first glance. It's my favorite show, don't turn it off! But all of them, with the exception of the bloody one, are just camouflage. I suppose you could call this a twist on the old to hide a tree, hide it in the woods. Okay, let's talk to you. So, what did you want to ask me about? Look at my badge! It is a shame that we will not be able to face each other. It was to be my first trial, too. Oh, was that a declaration? Oh, I've already read this. How nice it is to be young and carefree. What a nice, squeaky clean badge you got yourself there. I'm jealous. Okay. The current case of the murdered Cadopian embassy staff member. I've heard that people have begun calling it the second KG-8 incident. Only among you law enforcement types. And what about it? I'd like for you to tell me everything you know about the original KG-8 incident. I'm afraid I can't help you. I don't know anything beyond what was reported in the papers. No, I believe you do know much more, since you are directly tied to the KG-8 incident. Yeah, you're clearly related to that person. I'd appreciate it if you stop with the false accusations. This baseless outbursts are useless both inside and outside the courtroom, don't you know? Don't you know? I do, but I also know that I do have a leg to stand on here.
I think you can stop making that ultra serious face in front of me.
If you could please stop laughing for just 1 second. I'm not going to make any headway like this. I'm just gonna have to show her exactly how related to the KG incident she is. Here you go. Miss Yu, I believe that I have proof of your connection to the KG-8 incident. That file is your proof? Very well then. Why don't you tell me exactly how I'm related to the KG-8 incident through the victim? Your connection to the KG-8 incident is through the victim. The victim's name is CCU. You will note that she has the same last name as you. Can you really still tell me with a straight face that you are not related to this case? Sorry, but we're not related. What? Just kidding. You asked that question with such a serious look on your face that I couldn't help it. Miss Yu, I ask that you please tell me the truth. Alright, I'll tell you everything I know. Talk to me. As you guessed, the one who reported the smuggling activities of the Amano group was my sister, CCU. As I thought. And she was killed right before she was to testify at the impending trial by Manny Cochin. But because he was tried once and was acquitted, he gets to live out the rest of his cushy life, completely carefree. All because of a lack of evidence. No, I heard the evidence to convict him did exist. What? I heard it from Mr. Faraday himself after Mr. Cochin's trial was over. Apparently, a man in black made off with the most important piece of evidence. Then the evidence had to be tampered with. Isn't it just like a criminal to do something like that? A smuggling ring being run out of the Amano group by one of its secretaries. They bailed Mr. Cochin out. Turns out, they were in league with each other all along. How big was that smuggling ring? Was it a large operation? I don't really know. Which is why I wanted to become the lead defense. On this case that people are calling the second KG-8 incident. But I haven't learned anything new at all. I was probably expecting too much, I know. You mean you think this case has nothing to do with the smuggling ring? I don't know what to think. Why did Mr. Cochin want to meet with you earlier? Actually, He came to launch the trial. Apparently, he only found out that I was the defense attorney in his case after he'd arrived. He figured he should say hi and one other thing. Looks like you couldn't resolve anything this time either. Too bad. What's that supposed to mean? Oh boy, stop it with his scary face already. I'm fine, really. I gave him a good slap across the face. The way she talks about slapping him as she laughs away is kind of creepy. But it's just as Mr. Bot said. He's not related to the double murder. I asked around and people in the gallery claim that he was in his seat the entire time. Talk about cruel fate. Well, this is about all I know. Sorry. Guess I wasn't much help, huh? That's not true. I'm sorry I made you recall such a painful time in your life. Edgeworth, you really are too serious for your own good. You really need to learn to relax. We wouldn't want you to die of stress, would we? Thank you for the advice, but there's no need to worry. I work in my own way, and I will catch this criminal in my own way as well. You'll see. Look at you with your game face on, ready to go! I'm making no such face! Did you know? Laughter is the best medicine, Edgeworth. Don't you get tired of making such a serious face all the time? I'm charged with making sure that all the criminals of this world are found guilty. I have no need for laughter. Oh my god. There you go, making that face again. Oh well. I've got to get going. I still have a few loose ends I need to tie up. That was a pretty neat exchange. I liked how that was written. That was like really nice. The KG incident and this murder investigation. It is my belief that these two cases are related to each other somehow. Also, okay, Mr. Lonely, putting the edge in Edgeworth. Plus, that Detective Gumshoe. It's obvious he's lying, even though the lie is hurting his chances. Clearly, this case is far from over. But whether or not the detective is the murderer can only be determined once I've completed my perfect investigation. It really hurts how, like, he keeps using the word perfect. Because, like, oh god, he's, like, really deep in the paint of, like, he is absolutely just, like, Manfred's got his hooks in him real bad. It hurts. Mr. Von Karma, I swear to uphold your honorable name, or my name isn't Miles Edgeworth. Oh. It hurts so bad. Oh, honey. Alright. Oh, what's that guy doing? What's that guy doing? Sir, what is to become of the trial in the Cadopian Embassy staff member's murder? Indeed, since both the suspect and the prosecutor are now dead. The case will be dismissed. In other words, this trial ends here prematurely. Ha! Looks like you'll have to wait just a bit longer for your big debut. I suppose it can't be helped. They are having fun and me time. The evidence for this trial will be transferred to you in a little while. Sir, what do you think about the murder of the Cadopian Embassy staff member? And the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell? What an outrageous circus it has all become. That Faraday brought it all upon himself, this is a naivete. An outrageous circus, right, sir? I grow weary of this topic. Edgeworth, I will have you assigned to a different case. Papa, you'll come and watch my courtroom debut next, won't you? I'll consider it. The way that he's, like, pitting them against each other on purpose is making me so mad. Like, he's so clearly trying to make the two of them constantly fight against each other. Like, God. Sir, if I may, please allow me to continue with my investigation. Whatever for? I know that there is already a suspect in the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. However, there is not enough evidence to prove that it was he who committed the crime. I'd like to continue investigating in order to find the perfect proof of his guilt. The perfect proof? Don't make me laugh. A verseless person like you has no right to claim such thing as perfection. Stop!
Papa? Who do you think is the real culprit behind these murders? Miles and I, we're competing to see who can find the real killer first. Plus, being able to investigate a real crime scene is a very rare opportunity. It would give us some real-life experience, wouldn't you agree?
If you want to investigate this case that much, then do as you wish. Then you're allowing us to continue. In court, your top priority is to win, and a solid investigation is one of the keys to winning. We have to make sure you become recognized as a first-rate prosecutor, don't we? It wouldn't be very interesting otherwise.
What? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean?
I'm returning home now.
Edgeworth, Francisca,
See to it I'm not disturbed, save us the results of your competition.
yes, sir.
Of course, Papa.
He's such a piece of shit. Oh my god. It's like so upsetting. Francisca, thank you. And the way that she I don't know if she, I feel like she did that on purpose because of what he said. She was trying to stick up for him in the only way she could to appeal to Manfred. And because he's clearly trying to pit them against each other.
Your logic earlier was built on the Scoffy detective's lie. That means that the competition is still on.
Yes, just as you wished.
I couldn't let you get off so easily. Now then, let's see how well you fare on the investigation from here, Miles Edgeworth.
I know I don't have enough information yet, so my first order of business will be to question anyone involved with this case. Let's walk around. Wait, hang on.
Yes, what is it?
Look at my badge.
Do you think you could win this competition by simply showing that to me?
Not at all. In fact, I was planning to thank you. I wouldn't be a prosecutor today without you and your father.
I didn't really do much. You became a prosecutor first, that's all. But just you wait and see, Miles Edgeworth. Very soon, I'll be a prosecutor too.
Good. Then we can both send criminals away together, as colleagues.
But you can be sure that I will always get more convictions than you.
It's almost cute that she's going this far to insist that she'll always win. Almost. They're so siblings. They're so siblings.
It feels like there's a whole backside to this case we're not seeing.
And here we had thought that it was a case where the two men had killed each other. Look at how they mirror each other, so well. It's so cute. They're so siblings.
We're lacking in information. And as a Von Karma, I can hardly call this a perfect investigation.
Indeed, it is as you say.
I can't believe we agree on something.
Just what is so revolting about agreeing?
Anyway, our first move should be to speak with everyone related to this case.
Indeed, even if you had not said it, I was planning to do so anyway. I need a family portrait with these two through the years they've known each other. God, that would make me cry.
Whoops! What was that lash for?
Let's see. Hello.
I can't stop the water, sir!
It seems that the man who was here earlier broke it by drinking from it too much.
Bunch of fools who pretend not to see the foolish actions of a foolish fool.
You know he went to her first trial in her graduation. Well then, why don't you lend the officer a hand?
As if I should have anything to do with this. Besides, that water-drinking fool's mouth is the thing the officer should be covering. Let's give that officer a description of the water guzzler later.
She seems to have quite the grudge. It sounds to me like someone wanted a drink. She was whip crazy when she was younger. She's whip crazy now!
It's an incredibly detailed model, isn't it?
I heard that it cost as much to make it as it cost to build the courthouse itself.
What was the point of making such an expensive model?
I felt the exact same way upon hearing it.
It's so hard to understand such foolishness.
Agreed.
Wow, this thing is so incredibly detailed. My inner modeling fanboy is impressed.
I'm not exactly a fan of plastic models, per se. But even I can sense the superb quality of this model.
I simply cannot comprehend how that man can feel so much love for such a trifle.
Oh? I see.
You're a disciple of my father. So you would do well to guard yourself against an interest in such unproductive things.
Yes, perhaps I should take up whipping people like this young lady over here. You cannot stop the Steel Samurai model kit collecting.
Sir, nothing to report, sir.
Is there no one who will make this man take responsibility for his actions on the job?
Looks like we had no choice but to report this to Papa. Then this guard can have fun in a waking nightmare after being awakened from his dream.
Actually, let's not. I kind of feel sorry for him now. Edgeworth with a whip? What's the matter, officer?
I've been standing here for forever, sir, and I really need to go to the bathroom.
Why don't you just make a quick trip? The nearest one isn't that far, is it?
No, it's a short way down the hall beyond these doors, but I don't want to be blamed for anything that might happen while I'm gone. So I'm gonna hold it.
Perhaps Detective Gumshoe can be a positive influence on the force after all. Oh. Let's see.
Any day now, I'll be taking my rightful place behind this bench.
By that time, I should already be standing here.
It'd be downright disgraceful if I beat you to it, wouldn't it?
If that were to happen, Francisca,
I'll leave my cravat.
It's the defense attorney's bench. I'd probably be standing on this side of the courtroom if that incident hadn't happened.
What are you thinking about? Lately, the more wrinkly your face becomes, the less I'm able to read what you're thinking.
Well, I'll have you know, I don't have a single wrinkle upon my youthful brow.
Hehe. This must be the judge's desk. You can tell by the gavel sitting on top.
I had a dream once that I was being squashed from above by this gavel.
You're such a weakling, Miles Edgeworth.
You have no idea how frightening it was. Oh, I just got an achievement for that. For looking at all the benches. Is this like bailiff or stenographer? It's the witness stand.
I'll make sure that each and every person that ever stands here will be found guilty.
There are others besides the defendant that stand at this podium, you know.
I don't care. Just make sure you never end up standing at one of these. Or you'll be sorry.
Is that a Marvel vs. Capcom reference? It might be a reference to that nightmare that Phoenix had in one of the games. Where he was, like, it was the right before he got smacked with a fire extinguisher. I'll keep that in mind. Okay. It's a bookshelf. What's this? Judge's Trial Exchange Log. It appears to be a journal where the various judges share their thoughts and ideas. The real daily lives of the judges are laid out here on these pages.
There's nothing about the court in here. It's just page after page of unrelated drivel.
Judging by the content, they are very enthusiastic about the courthouse's daily menu. And it would appear that fried oysters are a favorite.
I have no use for such foolishly foolish words from that foolishly foolish crowd.
Someone please assure me that this is not the true state of this country's judiciary. Okay. Let's talk to you. Miss you.
Oh, it's you, Edgeworth.
And who are you? Wait, you were at the crime scene just now, weren't you?
You should be disbarred for not knowing who I am. I am Francisca von Karma, and I am about to become the successor to the family name.
About to? I guess that means for now, you're still just another kid. In which case, it's only natural that I didn't know who you are.
What? Whoops! Why are you whipping me?
Anyway, it looks like they're planning to hold the evidence a bit longer. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's waiting. I'm terribly sorry, but I do have a few more questions to ask of you. Look at you, eyebrows scrunched with the lines on your forehead. And then to ask of you. What exactly is so funny? Sorry, I'm just bad at dealing with a super serious atmosphere. Apparently, they failed to teach you proper behavior at a crime scene in law school. I feel much better now. So, what is it you want to talk about? I'd like to inquire as to where you were at the time of the murder. We were at defendant lobby number 1 the whole time, up until we heard the gunshot. And by we, I mean Mr. Bad. If you don't believe me, feel free to ask him yourself. I got hair in my mouth. There we go. You were with Detective Bad. Why? We had a little something to discuss, that's all. A little something, something. Will she say the same thing if I'm not going to show her my badge? So, I take it that you were acquaintances with Detective Bad. Yeah, he was the detective in charge of the KG8 incident. Detective Bad is also related to that incident? That's right. He was the one who's supposed to protect my sister, Cece. Bet you know how that turned out, don't you, Edgeworth? Edgeworth, I have no idea what you two are talking about. I've heard of the KG8 incident from my papa. But how does that case relate to you, Miss Yu? The victim of that case, CCU, was my little sister. You're making that super serious face again. I'm fine, really. I just make it a point to rub some more salt in his wounded private every time I see him. The way she talks about doing that as she laughs away is kind of creepy. Oh, speaking of Mr. Bad, he and Mr. Faraday, I'd say they made up just about every single time the Yatagarasu made a move. It was practically a given that the two would meet up at every one of the crime scenes. I see. You did mention that he is in charge of the Yatagarasu investigation earlier. Maybe I should ask her what she knows about the Yatagarasu in more detail. You claim that at the time of the murder you were with Detective Bad. But don't you lawyers usually discuss this trial with your clients during a recess? We do, and that's what I was planning to do. But Mr. Faraday was being rather threatening and he dragged Mr. Rell away. After that, Mr. Bad came into lobby number 1, so we just stayed there and talked. And what did you talk with Detective Bad about? Nothing interesting. I just insulted him some. Talked about how the trial was going, and then I insulted him some more. Bloody... When she's not laughing, her mouth seemingly spews nothing but insults. Anyway, Mr. Bad and I were in defendant lobby number 1 when the murders occurred. So I really can't tell you anything about the hallway or lobby number 2. I see. I'm just gonna go talk to Gumshoe real quick because I don't know if finishing talking to her will make things progress.
It wasn't me, I tell you. I didn't do anything wrong. Yes, I understand. So let's just calm down, okay, buddy?
I doubt I'll get anything useful from the detective while he's this agitated. Okay, yeah. Wait. Oh, look at this.
How's it first?
Yes?
What is the meaning of this bulletin board? Why are there so few trials posted?
It would appear that the entire week is devoted to Mr. Rell's trial.
Is the crime rate really that low in this country? Or maybe the police lacks the proper motivation to get out there and catch the criminals.
I'm afraid I can't comment on that, however. I can say I have my doubts about the younger detectives.
Sounds to me like they're in need of a stricter hand. And I'll start my discipline regimen with that pathetic, filthy-coated detective.
I feel bad for the big guy, and yet I find no suitable reason to stop her. Okay, let's keep talking. I'd like to ask you a few questions about your client, Mr. Macrell. Now, your client first claimed to be the Yatagarasu, is that correct? Yeah. Once I heard that it was the Yatagarasu that had made off with the evidence from KG8, I began to ask Mr. Rell all sorts of questions, but to no avail. Turns out, Mr. Rell was not the Yatagarasu. He just made that up. He made it up. Mr. Rell's crime was caught on tape by the security cameras. But there is no footage of him sneaking into the Cadopian embassy itself.
Hold on for just 1 second. Then you mean to say that you know that he was not serial Yatagarasu? And that he was just another cold-blooded killer, and you were ready to defend him?
Yeah, that's right. I see. So a defense lawyer is actually just someone whose job is to cover for criminals. What is the opinion of the...
That is why defense lawyers are so detestable, but they are no match for us one-comers.
I don't understand what they think of the law system in this universe. Because a lot of people just have the idea that, oh, defense lawyers, they just defend for guilty people and try and get them off the hook. From what I understand, the purpose of a defense lawyer is not, like, yeah, ideally, if someone's innocent, you'd want to get them off the hook. But if someone's very clearly guilty, what you want is for them to get the respectful treatment they deserve as a human being and not be punished unfairly. Yeah, the purpose of the games is to make fun of the systems. It's a disturbingly common viewpoint. It shows up a lot in cop shows. It does. But, like, yeah, the purpose of a defense lawyer is largely, if the person is definitively guilty, to ensure that the person receives fair treatment even in their punishment and not be, like, significantly mistreated or not taken advantage of, but just, like, harmed. The purpose of the games was to make fun of the system, from what I understand, but, like, yeah. They're, like, yeah.
I don't believe it. You're serious. Why don't you save that face for something really worth being serious about? And Edgeworth, do you remember what I said earlier? I have my own agenda. I'm still on the hunt for leads regarding the KG8 incident, all right? And for that, you have not a single qualm about defending a known killer. Don't put words in my mouth. I said no such thing. The only way I had to get close to Mr. Rowell was to be his lawyer. I had no intention of covering for him, ever. What is this? What is this? What is this? So don't you dare suggest I was going to. I don't understand! I don't understand! I'm sorry. Forgive my rashness. Ace Attorney seems to flip-flop between this opinion that, like, I feel like Apollo Justice does a really good job of depicting the judicial system in their own universe, and, like, because at that scene at I won't go super into detail in case Nate is still here, but Apollo Justice does a really good job of showing that the law system can be flawed, and what's important is learning how to change it with certain situations and how to move forward with knowing what we know. And sometimes Ace Attorney will abruptly flip between this really interesting commentary on the judicial system and then be like, no, defense attorneys, they're always good. They always defend the right people. The law system's actually really good, actually. Everyone's always really good. Everyone's perfect, except for when they're not. No nuance. I feel like if this game is like, I don't hate this game. I like this game. I just feel like it is weaker, and I feel like it could have been stronger if they had gone more into detail about how Callisto's, if she was like, oh yeah, I am defending him even though he did commit that crime, but I'm not doing it. I'm doing it because I need to get close to him, but also, like, it's important for a defense attorney to make sure that they get the right, they're not treated unfairly. Like, everyone deserves to be treated fairly. Like, God. I was wondering if you could tell me about the Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu, huh? I don't really know much about that character myself, but I do get a lot of consultation requests from companies to defend them. Requests from companies? The Yatagarasu isn't some petty thief out for money, you know. Alright then, perhaps the Yatagarasu is in the business of stealing people's lives. You're not very funny or witty, are you, little Miss Bon Karma? Oh my god. Francisca, be careful about who you whip. Choose carefully or maybe somebody. So yeah, I chose carefully. Just like you said, just like you wanted. It was hilarious, little Missy! Huh, of course it was. What is wrong with these two women? Why does my pain give them delight? And so, in the end, what is the Yatagarasu? I have to say, I've never even heard of this thief when I was in Germany. The Yatagarasu deals in information. Namely, in digging out dirt about backroom dealings in the like of companies.
The Attica is a vigilante who steals such info and then makes it public for all to see. Vigilante or not, this person sounds just like another criminal to me. I suppose you could put it that way, too. But either way, I get a lot more clients now thanks to the thief. Sounds like Miss Hugh is profiting nicely. I suppose I've gotten all I can out of Miss Hugh. I should move on and speak with Detective Gumshoe now. Okay. Detective Gumshoe?
Hey,
Hey, it's you, pal. You're here. Ouch!
As am I. I don't think you needed to whip him to let him know that.
I didn't do it, pal. I swear on my honor as a detective, I really didn't.
Your words are useless. I place my trust only in the evidence, Detective. Once the investigation is fully over, and should we find out that you are the killer, there will be no mercy to be had for you.
Have a heart, pal.
But you're not worried, right? After all, you have nothing to worry about if you really are innocent, that is.
That's right. Hey, pal, go and do your perfect investigation and get the real killer for me, will you?
I would have done so, even had you not requested me to, Detective. Look at my badge. Oh, I've already seen this.
I'm not saying a peep, pal, because I'm not the killer, okay?
You misunderstand. I wasn't going to ask you about that.
All I've ever wanted to do was become a detective, pal, so I never want to be a killer.
Seems that he doesn't want to talk about anything unrelated to his predicament. So you and Mr. Faraday had a small meeting last week, did you? And what exactly did you do to make him so angry?
I just asked Detective Bad the same thing myself, pal. Turns out he was mad at me because on my very first day as a detective, I reported in my usual post instead of the Criminal Affairs Department. By the time I got down to Criminal Affairs, I was really, really late. And that's when he gave me that huge speech.
I remember doing the same exact thing in elementary school. On the first day of school every year, I'd always wind up going to my old classroom. How pathetic for the detective to be comparable to a mere school child. It's not that bad. Come on, man. Be nice to him. You claim to be standing guard in front of the door for lobby number 2 during the recess. However, when did you receive the order to do so, and from whom?
Earlier, around 3:20 from Detective Bad, pal. Today's trial took a really crazy turn. So I was told to make sure nothing happened to Mr. Faraday.
And yeah, something did happen to him, correct? It looks like it was a total waste of manpower to assign you to guard duty.
Ow! Your words sting worse than your whip, pal.
So it was Detective Bat who ordered him to stand guard, huh? Let's see. Now then, Detective Gumshoe. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me?
Nope, not a thing, pal.
In that case, allow us to take a look at what you're carrying on your personage.
Wait, you can't do that!
There's nothing of any particular value here.
Well, my handcuffs and badge were confiscated by Detective Bad, so, you know.
And what is that open envelope I see sticking out of your coat pocket?
Hands off, pal! Just show it to us already! Whoops! Ow!
Annual bonus check within $5 total, except there's no check inside.
You've had your look, now give it back, pal! It's my first bonus as a brand new detective, $5? I just got it and cashed it today. I had literally no cash on me up until I did, you know? So that envelope is really special to me. Now give it back!
You don't need rubbish like this. Don't worry, we'll source a way for you later.
How could you?
Oh! Literally had no money on him until he cashed this.
I'm sorry, but I need to take him in for questioning now.
I think I've asked him just about everything I needed to. No, wait. Since he became a suspect, there's one piece of evidence I should reconfirm. Officer, I ask that you wait a second. I still have one thing I'd like to reconfirm with Detective Gumshoe.
Understood, but please make it brief, sir.
I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. I must confirm whether or not his testimony about whether the crime occurred is the truth. What? go. You told me earlier that you heard no sound other than the gunshot out in the hallway. Is that correct?
No mistake about it, pal.
Then you are also claiming that no one passed through the hallway either. Is that also correct?
Yup, not even a single ant passed through that hole when I was on duty. Liar. There were many ants.
You do realize that the lie you're telling is only making life more difficult for yourself.
Huh?
No.
But it's true. I didn't see anyone go through the hallway, and I didn't hear anything else, pal. I bet the killer found a way to kill the two guys that's beyond what I can even imagine.
So he intends to continue telling this ridiculous lie. But why would he do so given the situation he's in? I believe a thorough investigation of the hallway in front of the defendant lobbies is in order. Oh. Child.
You! Why? Why? What?
How could you have not noticed that's coming?
Why? Wasn't that the child I changed body for earlier? Thanks. That's exactly what I needed.
Kids can sometimes be so cruel. It looks like she dropped something.
Swiss roll.
I love Swiss roll. Dude, the Swiss roll, Little Debbie Swiss rolls, they taste like chemicals. Like, they taste unhealthy as hell. But oh my god, they're so good. And they stopped selling them in Canada because something about like the supplier, there was like some problem with the supplier, so they don't sell them anymore. And I'm so sad because you can't get them anywhere in Canada now because of that. I wish they still, like, I'm trying to not eat as much sugar, but I feel like it kind of helps that they don't sell them anymore, because god, I would like eat so many of those when they were still being sold here. They're so good. They taste like straight up chemicals, but god, they're good. Maybe they should arrest as a girl. She might turn out to be a valuable lead. She's 10. I believe some sort of punishment may need to be dealt the next time we meet. I believe I've asked all that I need to of this man. Now for Detective Bad and the judge. We have to confirm who is correct. The judge is that squaff face, right? I suppose we should inspect the hallway in front of lobby number 2 then. I suppose so. Shall we head on over, Francisca? Just want to check what's in here, if anyone's in here now. Keyboard, speak to me. Okay, nothing. Keyboard! Look what's happening. Why is this happening to me? Okay, there we go. God. Does your keyboard need batteries? It's plugged in. Well, it's plugged into an unrelated socket, but it's connected. It should be. So, did you see anything else? Maybe if I plugged it directly into the computer, it would work better? I don't know. No, I don't think so. I see. Well, thanks for your cooperation. Oh, it's nothing. Just doing my duty as a defender of the law. Make the oatmeal cream pie. I never had those. That'll be all for now. I'll ask again if I have any other questions. Anytime, detective. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a few loose ends I have to tie up. Oh, you're that new prosecutor Mr. Von Karma recommended, right? He's so short. My name is Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. And I'm Manfred Von Karma's daughter, Francisca Von Karma. I'm set to become the successor to my genius father any day now, Your Honor. I see, Mr. New Von Karma. I bit my tongue. Are you alright, Your Honor? The Please feel free to refer to me as just Miss Von Karma, Your Honor. As for him, just Edgeworth is fine. Apparently, somebody doesn't feel that I'm worthy of a proper title. Oh-ho! Very well then. I shall call you Miss Von Karma and Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth. Your Honor, Mr. Edgeworth is fine, sir. Now, about your earlier testimony. Yes? What about it, Mr. Edgeworth? I would like to ask you a few questions about what exactly you saw. All right. After all, it's my duty to clarify my testimony as a defender of the law. I greatly appreciate your cooperation, Your Honor. Now, the first thing I will need to do is figure out a detective's exact movements. Alright, let's get cooking. Let's see. It would appear that this vending machine sells snacks and various other foods. Just lovely. What will they think of next? Don't be a jerk in court like these beef jerks. One packet for $9. Defendant's fresh milk. What? What are you doing to the defendant? What are you doing to what are they doing to the defendant? Stay neutral as this way too until the ends with these for $6. They're awfully overpriced. Yeah. They would be at that time. The lineup is simply awful, period. Speaking of snacks, I wonder if the Swiss Falls this little girl dropped is from this machine. I was wondering about that myself. Stay neutral as if Swiss do until the end with these. The end of what? Well, I assume it means the end of the trial. I suppose this means that one should eat these during a recess. You can't eat during a trial, so I suppose the only time you can eat them is now, huh? I wouldn't mind if you wanted to eat one now. They come in packs of 2 after all. Huh. We're in the middle of an investigation. Besides, I don't have $6 on me. If you want, we can pool our money and buy a pack together. They're so sibling-coded, God! If I had to split it with you, then I don't want it. This is unrelated. I have no idea if you've seen it, but Chongo dropped a new song. I'll listen later. Defendant's fresh milk. That looks really cool. I'll look at that later, definitely. What exactly is that supposed to mean? I bet it means that the milk is freshly milked by various defendants on trial right now. What? No, I think this means it was milked right here from the various defendants. What? I'm sorry? Mass Edgeworth, you can't possibly be serious. Of course not. What's wrong with you, Edgeworth? When it's looking bad, bind your opponents with some OJ. Are they promoting violence? Don't worry, my whip will make sure that anybody following this advice won't be for long. Is there a cow in the courtroom? According to Edgeworth, no. Compared to the sting of a whip, the sting of orange juice may not be so bad. Hot dog. When you're in hot water, you might need a hot dog. It looks like the slogan was decided through a public contest. And the winner was Prosecutor Winston Payne? What a pathetic slogan. No presents at all. Now, if it was up to me, it would read, if you leave matters in a Von Karma's hand, everyone in court will be found guilty, dogs.
Objection!
Overruled. They're so sibling coded. That's really good. Don't be a jerk in court like these beef jerks. I see.
Objection!
Mass Edgeworth, wouldn't you agree this is a very clever pun? Do you really think they put that much effort into the product name? Even a foolish fool could understand the foolish thinking of the fool who made it up. Acting so foolishly so that I got thoroughly mad, now and utterly famished. If you wanted a pack of these, all you had to do was ask like a normal person. Don't let the prosecution and the defense make a ham sandwich out of you. What? It sounds like it's directed at that ham of a judge. Well, it certainly isn't directed at me. I can outmaneuver him any day. Milg. What do you guys want? What do you guys want? I'm getting a Swiss roll and a sandwich. I brought my own water bottle. Do you guys want anything? I only have like a couple. I can only get you guys like 2 things. You getting beef jerky? Okay. That's gonna like eat up like most of the budget though. So I think you can only get beef jerky. I can share it. Yay! Okay, and I'll split this with- I'll take a roll. Okay, I'll split the Swiss roll I have with you. What's this guy doing? Did you find something, officer?
I think there's a $5 bill back there. Come on. Just a little more.
Is it no one working this crime scene who isn't a total waste of living tissue?
Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a single person we can deem useful here. It doesn't look like this is anything contradictory left in this area. I suppose not. Perhaps I should check somewhere else. Hey. Have you found any suspicious fingerprints, officer?
Nope, there's the fingerprints. Those involved with the case, sir.
I guess we know of the player since this case then, huh? It would appear that way, but I have the nagging feeling that we're missing something. And I suspect that what we're missing is hiding right here in this crime scene somewhere. He's making a most ridiculous looking face. That may be, but at least he doesn't look like someone who would tell a lie on purpose. I suppose, to von Karma, evidence is the only thing that carries any weight. Of course. At any rate, this poster seems to be of no use to us right now. Fire extinguisher. There are no signs that this fire extinguisher was used in the crime. If you could already tell from a distance, then why are you wasting your time in examining it? Francisco, let's not try to rush absolute G- Shut up! I hate him! Ants. Yay! He says the line! Say the funny line! I can look outside, however, I doubt the killer could have escaped through here. Of course not. This is the 3rd floor, after all. It appears that bars were installed on this to prevent people from falling out. Bars? What bars? Can you not see them from your vantage point? She's so short. What? I must remember not to bring up that taboo subject again. Ants. The ants are hard at work carrying their food home. It's a marvel that they can pick up such comparatively large objects to their size. Well, if you want to carry somebody to find common name and not be squished under it, you'd better work extra hard, just like these ants. The same goes for you, Francisca. Cactus. Ah! What's the matter? I pricked myself on one of these cactus's needles. I didn't think that the needles on this thing would be so sharp. Well, what did you expect? Can you imagine how bad it would be if you were hit on the head by one of these? Anyway, what was that? What was that? What was that thought you just had? Anyway, this cactus seems to be unrelated to our case. Do you really think so? Because I believe that this cactus sitting on this windowsill is completely related. Oh, well then, I look forward to your explanation on how exactly it is related. What is this? What is this? Wasn't Kay holding a balloon earlier? Okay, wait, my brain is braining. So, if I remember correctly, Kay was holding a balloon, right? And it was that exact color. And obviously, this was very sharp, so not hard to logic out what happened there. And didn't the judge mention earlier, because I made that joke about poppers, he mentioned hearing like a party popper, so that must have been what he heard. It's a pink-colored piece of trash made of rubber. Yeah, it's clearly the balloon that Kay had. So that means, oh, that probably means that Gumshoe is lying about seeing Kay in the hallway. Right? That's what I think. Oh. Stretch. I feel like I've seen something like this before. Well, all I see is a piece of garbage. But you know, the fact that there's a litter running around loose inside the courthouse, it's simply unforgivable. Whoops. It's not like it was I who littered. Rubbish belongs in a rubbish bin. Just... So cruel. Pink piece of trash, windowsill cactus. Easy. This pink rubbery substance, I saw this in a different form earlier today. I believe this is a piece of a popped balloon. I suppose that's possible. The balloon probably got a little too close to our friend, the windowsill cactus. That would be the logical conclusion, yes? Cool. Let's talk to you. Detective Bad, I have something I wish to inquire about.
Hey, how about doing some actual work, you?
I wish to inquire into Detective Gumshoe's movements during the recess. You're getting in the way of the investigation.
I have an order from Mr. Von Karma himself. Plus, I still hold investigative authority.
Well, let's talk to you after we talk to the judge. Your Honor, I'd like to ask you a few questions if you don't mind. Where were you at the time of the murder?
Do you suspect me of something?
No, nothing of the sort, Your Honor.
Very well. You may continue with your testimony.
Your Honor, it's your testimony I'm after.
Oh! I had no idea you were chasing after me or my testimony.
I'm beginning to sense that I might want to avoid being in a trial run by this judge. Sorry, it's going to be literally every trial.
Look at my badge!
Today's trial might have ended abruptly, but we will meet again.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that day, Mr. Edgeworth.
I wonder what braids in his beard. It does look very fluffy. When I become a prosecutor, you might even see me in your courtroom a few times. I hope you'll treat me with even greater respect than now.
I only ask that you please do not bring a whip into my courtroom, she will.
Huh, I'm afraid that issue's not up for negotiation. As long as the whip can't reach his seat, I'm sure his honor will be safe. I think.
A guy's gonna bring in an attack falcon, I'm sorry. Let's see here. Now then, how should I put this? When you get to be my age, you need to be paying more frequent visits to the restroom. If you go take a look through the window at the end of this hall, you'll see a small window. That is the window to the men's restroom. In other words, you can see clearly into this hallway from the men's restroom. When I was going into the restroom, that detective, Gumshoe, is it? Well, he was standing in front of the vending machines buying something from it.
Hang on. Swiss rolls, $6. Gumshoe had $5. We gave $1 to Kay. Yeah, she was clearly there. She was clearly with him.
And this I couldn't believe. When I was about to exit the restroom, there was not a soul in the hallway anymore.
Your Honor, if you could please calm down and explain to me rationally.
Oh, I'm really sorry. Please let me regain my composure. It was really suspicious. That is what my finely honed judge's intuition said. Although, well, until the murders occurred, I just sort of brushed it off.
Oh. Apparently, this judge doesn't understand the concept of staying calm. The restroom window, huh? I wonder if you can really see the men's bathroom window from that one there. You can. I'm looking at it right now.
I demand that you show me this view at once.
I suspect that her height is what's limiting her ability to see. That's probably all I'm going to find out from his honor. He could have just been sitting down. Yeah, that's what I think. Like he was like sitting right there. There's like a piece of a cookie on the ground.
Mr. Edgeworth, may I return to my other duties now?
Yes, I'm sorry to have held you up. Thank you for your cooperation, Your Honor.
Oh, anytime, Mr. Edgeworth, anytime.
The judges in this country seem fast friendly. Yes, if not a little wishy-washy. However, I hear that they are known to hand down very fair verdicts. Yeah, it's like a piece of the Swiss roll? Hang on. Is this opened? Yeah, this looks like it was opened at some point. Courthouse special Swiss rolls. Is this being sold somewhere on the premises? I don't recall seeing a restaurant of any sort in this courthouse. I somehow doubt that you'd find junk food like this on a restaurant menu, Francesca. Well then, where do they sell these things, huh? A convenience store, I suppose? Val, I'm sure there's no convenience store in this courthouse, my such fast. Where in the world did this come from? A vending machine. Yeah, this looks like it was folded over. Looks like there's only one in there. Yeah, it could have dropped like some of the crumbs of the roll. That's what I think. My keyboard is having a stroke again. Nothing in the trash can. Okay, let's talk to Bad. Hello. Okay, let's talk. So, I hear you were the one who called for Detective Gumshoe to come down here. Faraday. That guy was just accused, you know? I knew something was gonna happen. My detective's instinct told me.
A lot of good it did you. You couldn't even protect one lone prosecutor visit.
Oh, that probably really hurt. Oh my god. 13-year-olds are the meanest people in the world.
Hold it!
Francisca, I think you need to apologize.
I'm sorry.
I'm terribly sorry, Detective Bad. Please continue. Huh. I used the phone on the first floor and called the precinct. Did he almost pull his gun on a 13-year-old? I told them to send somebody over. And that detective's the one that showed up. And only upon his arrival did you set Detective Gumshoe to stand guard, Detective Bad. Yeah, I waited for him on the first floor. After we got here, we came up to these defendants' lobbies together. As we entered this hallway, we ran into you. She told us that Faraday was really mad, and that he dragged Rel off to lobby number 2 to have a word or something, and that Faraday had said to not let anyone interrupt them. So what choice did I have? All we could do was tell the big lug to stand guard outside. And around what time did all that take place? Let's see. I think it was about 30 minutes before I heard the gunshot. After giving the big lug his assignment, he never left the hallway, not once.
Oh, and how can you make such a claim?
Huh. One of the guards out in this floor's main lobby swore to me that he didn't. If the detective never left the hallway, then where did he disappear off to?
That's simple. He must have gone into lobby number 2 just as I suspected.
You and we were in lobby number 1 next door. The only one without an alibi is Gumshoe. It would seem that I'm still missing some key pieces of information.
Detective Bad, you also heard the gunshot, did you not?
Yeah. I heard it when I was in defendant lobby number 1. That's why I came running towards lobby number 2 together with you.
How much time elapsed between you hearing the gunshot and your arrival on the scene?
Less than a minute.
What were your movements upon hearing the gunshot?
I grabbed the big lug, it was just walking around in the hall, and raced into lobby number 2. And that's when we discovered the bodies. In that order.
That makes you the discoverer of the crime scene, right?
Yeah, I guess it does, little miss.
I'm about to become a prosecutor very soon. You will treat me with the dignity I deserve, or else.
Huh. You wave that thing around anymore. And I'll have you arrested for obstruction, little miss.
You wouldn't dare!
Just joking.
He just straight up dodged it! Detective Bad is really something if he can make Francisca behave.
Are we about done?
Is there anything else I should ask him about? I'd like to know a little more about the circumstances under which you heard the gunshot.
Like I said, I was in lobby number 2 with you, not lobby number 1 with you. Hang on.
Here we go.
I have nothing else to add.
Well, his testimony certainly corroborates with what Miss Yu said. Well, you already asked him about that, remember?
Suppose I should ask about something else. Lazy heard the gunshot? Where were you when you heard the gunshot? How many times are you going to ask that? I was in defendant lobby number 1 when I heard the gunshot.
It's exactly the same as what he said earlier when I asked.
Now, get out of here. You're getting in the way.
Hold it!
I'm not through questioning you just yet.
Is there anything okay. Time you heard the gunshot.
I'd like for you to tell me the exact time you heard the gunshot.
It was around the end of the recess, and the trial was about to start again. I think. He was supposed to make time for himself to transfer the evidence he was holding. but I got the sense that he wasn't gonna show for the handoff. So I figured I should go get him or he'd be late. And just as I thought that, bang, the sound of a gunshot hit my eardrums. So we heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to restart, huh? Are we done here? I don't have any time to waste.
Oh, come on! All you're doing is standing in pharmacist's door doing nothing.
Huh. I get the sense that he is somewhat investigating this crime scene, or rather that he is keeping us under surveillance. But to what end? Detective Bad, may I ask that you cooperate with us for just a bit longer? I don't have anything else to say to the two of you. You guys were the ones who said you wanted to investigate in the first place.
Fine then, be obstinate. Please just do as we please. Come on, Miles.
You may no longer be willing to help us, however. May I ask for the forensic scientist's cooperation? Do as you like. Will you say anything? I don't want to risk it. Okay, nothing new. Anything in here? Ah! Tapped out. Okay. Nothing. Oh, wait, let's talk to Francisca. Notice anything?
This is a pretty spacious hallway, but it's nothing compared to the ones at home.
Indeed, because the house itself is a bit too spacious.
However, even with this much space, there's nowhere for that Scarface to hide. Well, other than the crime scene just beyond those doors.
Francisca, I believe it's much too early to draw any conclusions. It was already proven that Detective Gumshoe was in this hallway the entire time. Now all we need to do is to gather more information. And to do that, I'll just have to examine everything I see here by myself. Hallway window.
So, according to the judge, someone looking through the restroom window that you can see from the window at the end of this hall can see into this hall? I wonder exactly how true that statement is, don't you?
Well, it is possible to get a pretty clear view of this hallway from the restroom.
I love Tiny Friends. She's so bitty. She's so itty-bitty. Is there really a men's bathroom through the window at the end of this hall?
Of course. Can you not see it?
I demand that you show me this view of once.
I suppose I should go examine that window once again anyway. Oh, we haven't investigated this. Oh, we can go down. Handprint. The dirt on this bench, it smells like some sort of sweet substance.
I can't believe there's someone going around dirtying this courthouse. For shame!
Calm down, Francisca. Now, take a good look. Doesn't this smudge look kind of like a handprint to you? I suppose it could be. Which means that perhaps we can lift the print off of the person who sullied this bench.
I see. And then we'll know the identity of our mystery slob.
You there, the lab technician. Could you please find out who this handprint belongs to?
Sir, yes, sir. You got the results of the fingerprint analysis, sir.
And do we know who they belong to?
Sir, the fingerprints belong to Detective Gumshoe.
Oh, interesting. Good work, officer. Dark smudge emits the scent of sweet sugar. Thanks, man.
And so you have it.
Yes, I suppose so.
Now we know the identity of the person who dirtied that bench.
I sense that you and I will be using this information in very different ways. Whatever this is.
What are these black speckles?
I believe it's a pile of ants eating away.
Oh, the detective, he claims that not a single ant slipped by him, and yet here is a whole hill of them.
What are you hitting me for?
As a replacement for that pathetic detective.
Perhaps I should add this deduction to the detective's rolling tab of pay cuts. Anyway, I wonder what the ants are eating. From the look and sweet smell of it, pieces of cake and chocolate from a Swiss roll.
Mouse Edgeworth, the courtroom is to kept pristine at all times.
It wasn't me that dropped food on the ground.
The courthouse must be kept clean.
Suffering. Okay. Looks like we got everything. Let's do some logic. That's his little sister who causes him great harm. Oh, hang on. There you go. These bits of chocolate and cake, could they have not come from a Swiss roll? A Swiss roll? Why would a courthouse sell a thing like that? It may not seem like the right venue. However, it is being sold right over there. The vending machine? Ah, I see. Stay neutral as the Swiss do until the end of the seas. 2 for $6? Talk about expensive. Yeah, they were. Leaving the fact that it's on the expensive side aside. Hi, wench! The fact that the cake crumbs and chocolate bits were found in this hallway suggests that they came from a Swiss roll that was purchased from this machine. God, I wish I had a Swiss roll right now. I think I have a pretty clear picture of what happened here now. Huh, naturally. After all, I'm here, aren't I? Detective Gumshoe must have sat on this bench as he ate a Swiss roll. And as he ate, he dropped it on the floor and sullied the bench. How could he have not cleaned up after himself? How utterly despicable! Don't you dare whip me again. It wasn't I who made that mess in the first place. Anyway, if it was indeed Detective Gumshoe who brought the Swiss roll, that creates a rather interesting contradiction of facts. A contradiction? Where? Huh. I think another look at the special courthouse vending machine is in order. Right. Hang on. I got it. $6. This literally had no money on it. He didn't have enough. About Detective Gumshoe's finances, he said that until this morning, he didn't have even a single penny on his personage. Just how poor is that guy? If his bonus really was only $5, then he should not have been able to purchase a pack of Swiss rolls. However, facts being as they are, we found cake crumbs on the floor. Meaning Scuffy must have bought a pack somehow. Indeed. That detective should not have been able to purchase a pack, and yet he did. But question is, how? Yoo-hoo! I believe I now have a very firm grasp on what happened here. Well, I do too. Huh. Alright, Francisca. Would you care to share what conclusions you've come to? Why should I do that? This still is a bit of a competition, you know. We should be checking to see if your conclusions are wrong first, so you go ahead. It's almost cute that she's going this far to ensure that she wins. Almost. Very well, but first we need to pay His Honor a visit to correct his testimony. Alright, now we're cooking with the gas. Stretch. Alright. Your Honor, if I may, I'd like to test your witness testimony to see how it stands up. Do you doubt me? Am I your new suspect? In a sense, I suppose you could say that. Even you're a judge. I'm nothing but a common witness before a Von Karma. Silence in the courtroom. Silence, I say. Mr. New Prosecutor recommended by Bain for compromise with the misgenius process against him. You bit your tongue again, didn't you? As a defender of the law, hello, it's your pal Al. Hello, it's Udgy. Yes. As a defender of the law, I could never give false testimony. You can even place me under oath if you want. Very well then. Your testimony, if you please. How are you doing, Al? How's your day going? Let's see. During the recess, I, went to the restroom. Doing alright? That's good to hear. Thanks for dropping by. There's a window on the hallway side. In other words, I could see into the hallway. This is a really weirdly shaped building. As I entered, I saw that detective buying something from the vending machines. But when I was about to exit the restroom, he had completely disappeared. A detective that goes missing while on duty. That sounds mighty suspicious to me! Your Honor, can you please try to remain calm? Oh! I'm so used to simply listening to testimonies that I got caught up in all the excitement. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to spoil your fun now. During the recess, I went to the bathroom. It's funny. We gotta press.
Hold it!
Tell me more. Your Honor, why exactly did you pay a visit to the restroom, if I may ask?
Oh! Well, isn't it obvious? What else do you go to the restroom for?
Or maybe...
I knew it! You suspect me of some sort of tomfoolery, don't you?
Please stay calm, Your Honor. This is going to be much harder than I anticipated.
I'm sorry. You're right. I need to think things through with a level head. I'm just nervous because so much has happened to date with this trial. Let's see. I announced a recess and time for us to reconvene. But having done all that, I still wasn't able to go to the restroom right away.
And why couldn't you?
Mr. Faraday had been accused, so I had paperwork to process regarding a new prosecutor. Once I had finished that, I was finally able to make a mad dash to the restroom.
At least he stayed consistent on the going to the restroom part of his testimony. Okay, in other words, I could see into the hallway.
Hold it!
Your Honor, did you really go to the men's restroom?
What is the meaning of that statement?
I simply meant that perhaps you went to a restroom on a different floor.
I had to go for such a long time. It was all I could do to dash to the closest one to the courtroom.
I suppose that's only natural given his circumstances.
I ran from the courtroom, though this floor's main lobby down the hallway. Once you enter, you can see that there's just a window just above the...
That's a weird place for a window, I think. Where did the Brook boy get $6? He got $5 from his bonus, and what I'm thinking is that since there was the popped balloon on the thing and Kay dropped this other Swiss roll, Kay probably gave him the other $1. And it was through that window that you witnessed Detective Gumshoe, Your Honor.
Yes, exactly!
Your Honor, there is no need to yell. I can hear you just fine.
Oh,
I guess I put a little too much into that last answer.
Now then, let's continue with the testimony.
All right.
Hold it!
Are you sure that the person you witnessed was Detective Gumshoe, Your Honor?
Yes, I'm absolutely sure. It's hard to miss someone of his stature, even from as far away as the restroom. Besides, I can't think of anyone else with that kind of hairstyle and big beige coat.
Well, I was simply wondering if you were mistaken in what you saw.
What? Preposterous! My eyes are as sharp as can be, ready to see through lies to the truth. Although, recently, things do seem to be a bit fuzzier than they used to be. Clearly, his eyes are not the only things that have gone fuzzy. But allow me to say, with all the honor and dignity of a judge, I am not mistaken in what I saw.
When I was about to enter the restroom, he completely disappeared. A detective that goes missing while on duty. That sounds mildly suspicious to me. Okay, I think it's this one. He had completely disappeared. Let's press.
Hold it!
He disappeared, but Your Honor, didn't you just say? I saw that detective buying something from the vending machine.
Why, yes! Yes, I did! The restroom window looks over the courtyard and right into the hallway. But just as I was about to exit, I took another look and there was no one in sight. That led me to the only solution to this mystery. The detective must have gone into the crime scene, lobby number 2 at that point.
Honestly, the window being able to look out of, I've been to some buildings that have windows like this right above the urinals? Huh. So he looked into the hallway from the restroom and over the courtyard, did he? Okay, it's something... This?
Objection!
Yeah, there we go. I hate him.
What was that finger wag for, Mr. Edgeworth? And don't you know it's rude to shout objection while someone is giving testimony?
Ha! If you truly are a man of the law, then you must always be vigilant. For example, I never let an opportunity to shout objection pass me by. As at first, it's one thing to be passionate about your job, but this is real life. This is what some people may say is the pot calling the kettle black. Your Honor, I wonder if you might take a look at this for me.
What is that filth? How dare someone dirty the hallway beds like that? Who is the culprit? That party is hereby found guilty of uncleanliness.
If you must know, the uncouth bench sullier has already been placed under arrest thanks to your earlier testimony, Your Honor.
Oh? Well, that's good. But who was it?
We were about to discover something from the smudge on the bench. Namely, Detective Gumshoe's fingerprints.
Not happy with just committing murder, he had to go and dirty the courthouse too? Guilty!
Your Honor, please calm down. It's weird architecture stuff designed by weirdos, I see. While it's true that the detective is the one who made that mess on the bench, we have not yet established that this action is related to the double murder.
What do you mean?
I do believe that the detective bought a pack of Swiss rolls from the vending machines, and then promptly sat down on the bench to eat one. The cake crumbs and pieces of chocolate on the floor under the bench, and Detective Gumshoe's fingerprints prove my conclusions to be true.
Oh, but I still don't understand.
Is this whole thing related to how I couldn't see him as I was leaving the restroom? It is indeed. The window in the hallway was built rather high up into the wall, at around a grown adult's chest height. As evidence, I submit that Francisca herself was unable to see out the window. I knew I shouldn't have used her hide as evidence. Basically, what this means is that the area directly under the hallway window is a blind spot where the hallway is being viewed from the men's restroom.
Then...
It seems that you have made the connection. If someone were to sit on the bench under the window... Oops. Yeah, I think it was Kay with him because there's like a very obvious spot right there. Yes, even with someone as large as Detective Gumshoe would effectively disappear from sight.
What?
Do you finally see, Your Honor? Your testimony has just proven that Detective Gumshoe was in the hallway the entire time.
Sorry.
There's a house on my drive home that has that weird corrugated metal on the siding. This? Or this?
I didn't mean to say that with that much enthusiasm. All I wanted to do was try saying it once. Here, let me try that again. Hold it!
Is there something of value that you'd like to say?
Yes, actually there is. I remembered something else just now. Mr. Edgeworth, please allow me to testify to the court one more time.
Even if we overruled him, he'd just keep on talking, wouldn't he? That might not be a bad thing. The more info the better in a perfect investigation, right? Oh, I was on architects being weirdo. Oh, right, I see.
I suppose it's possible that you can't see a seated person from the restroom window. However, that doesn't mean that the detective was sitting there when I looked. Anyway, I forgot to testify earlier about probably the most important detail. As I was leaving the restroom, I heard the loud bang of a gunshot.
It was not a gunshot.
How was that? That is the testimony of one who judges the crimes of others.
Your Honor, could you try to state the important facts first next time?
I agree. Before you go around judging others, you should learn to judge your own words. I'm sorry. Honestly, I thought that sound was just a noise popper until now.
Now that he mentions it, right before we started the trial, he did talk about that. Yeah, that was a balloon. Someone is celebrating a birthday during the recess. I could have sworn that I heard a popper going off. Come to think of it, the other day with my grandson. The most critical point in this argument is when did the judge look into the hallway, and whether that lines up with when the gun was actually fired. Your Honor, if I may, I'd like to clarify a few details in your testimony. Well, it is possible you can't... Okay, I don't think that's relevant. I forgot to testify earlier, but probably... Okay.
Hold it!
Your Honor, about what you just said.
I know, I couldn't believe it. Bang with a gunshot, I heard a loud clear, then I heard a knee-jerk reaction, and then jump into the air like this. Yeah, just like this, with a quick
Your Honor, please remain calm when you're trying to explain yourself to me.
Yes, sir. Sorry about that. Now then, I must gather myself. Yes. When I heard the gunshot, there was no one in the hall. I should know. I looked. There was no one there!
This judge's emotion circuits appear to be stuck on overreact. At this point, nothing stands out to me as a contradiction in his testimony. Francisca. If I'm correct, this testimony is hardly precision quality. I know that. And that's why I said at this point. I think my first line of attack will be to draw more information from His Honor. Okay. Let's just press and see what we get out of it.
Hold it!
In that case, do you concede that you were overconfident in your last testimony?
Now hold on there. I just said that it's possible that you can't see a seated person from the restroom this time. But you know something? I don't think you know when the printing reference were left on the bench, do you? Well, you have proven that it's possible that the detective was sitting. I still have a problem with when those fingerprints were left.
He's right. I have yet to prove when the fingerprints were left on that bench. While he feigns ignorance, His Honor has seen a lot of life. This judge, I mustn't underestimate him.
Hold it!
As we established, you went to the restroom during the recess. However, at what point in the recess did you look into that hallway? After I called for a recess, I handled the change of the prosecutor paperwork. Maybe about 20 minutes until we reconvene? Yes, that sounds about right. Just as I expected.
What are you expecting? And I demand to know what that all-knowing smile is for.
Your Honor, that statement you just made now is very important. I'd like for you to append it to your testimony.
All right, if you insist.
Something...
Objection!
Wrong-o!
I cannot allow you to make an objection.
What? Your Honor, I'm really sorry, but I cannot allow you to not allow me to make an objection.
Hey, gods, I've been overruled?
Your Honor, there are simply too many holes in your testimony for my taste.
What do you mean by that?
You claim that you heard the gunshot during the recess, but that is simply not possible.
Mr. New Prosecutor recommended by Manfred von... Ah! Instead of biting your tongue, fight a...
I don't know what she said. I see you have no mercy for the elderly either, Franziska.
Huh, don't talk back to me unless you want to be whipped back.
With your height, you'd need a step ladder or 4 to accomplish that. It's a ladder, Edgeworth.
Mr. Edgeworth, my ears are not that far gone yet, I'll have you know. I can still hear just fine. And I hear the sound of a gunshot loud and clear with my own 2 ears.
Ha! Your Honor, I have here an interesting bit of testimony. It's from Detective Bad. And according to him, he heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to start again.
What did you just say?
Your Honor, you just said that you heard the gunshot about 20 minutes before we were about to reconvene. How do you explain this glaring contradiction?
That can't be!
Unfortunately, that is the truth.
But I heard it clear as day. Bang! The loud sound of a gunshot.
The sound of the gunshot, we keep returning to this point of contention. And that piece of evidence, I always did wonder why I found it where I did. However, now I understand what that gunshot the judge heard really was. Unfortunately, Your Honor, this is what really produced the gunshot you heard. The balloon! The big balloon!
Take that!
I found this object in the hallway earlier.
What is that pink substance?
It may not look it, but this is actually a piece of a balloon.
I see. Pop! Bang! And I suppose you would like me to accept that pink balloon into the court record.
Your Honor, I present this piece of evidence in order to overrule your testimony.
What?
Your Honor, your argument goes as follows. You saw no one in the hallway when you heard the gunshot. Now, there is no guarantee that the detective was sitting on the bench at that time. Therefore, you believe that he must have been at the crime scene to defendant lobby number 2. Am I correct?
Yes, that's exactly right.
Let me ask you something. Do you think that the gunshot you heard was produced by a real gun? I think I've said enough that even you can figure the rest out on your own. Your Honor, you were fooled by the popping of this balloon into thinking it was a gunshot.
What manner of trickery is this?
That was a good effort you put forth, Miles Edgeworth.
But if it was me, I'd have wrapped this thing up before the judge even testified.
Care to elaborate on when to end something before it even begins? Well, to be honest, I did think that the sound was a bit off from a real gunshot sound. But who could have guessed that someone would pop a balloon in a place like this? That's true. One doesn't usually think balloons in conjunction with courthouse. Yeah, it was her.
I want to trade these coins with you.
That's it! That balloon that girl was holding, it explains everything! Your Honor, if it makes you feel any better, you didn't lie once in your testimony. However, I can't really vouch for its accuracy. Oh no. That giving testimony could be such a difficult thing to do. What have I done? I owe Detective Gumshoe a very, very big apology. I will see to it myself that he is released. Wait. There are still a few things I have yet to resolve about what happened in the hallway. Your Honor, I request your permission to further question Detective Gumshoe. But why? I thought we just cleared his name. Whether we did just now or not, I still cannot say. The only thing I can do for now is continue in my quest for the perfect explanation. And to that end, I must resolve the remaining issues pertaining to the events that occurred in the hallway. Very well. Bailiff, please bring Detective Gumshoe into the courtroom. I must fulfill my mission and find the perfect explanation to this case. Fascinating. Gumshoe.
What is it now? Is it time for my trial already? I've already told you a gazillion times, pal, I didn't do it.
I'll be the judge of that, Detective Gumshoe.
No, you won't. I'll be the judge of that.
No. I'm the judge around here, and I'll be the judge of that. Why can't you guys be a little less judgmental? Yes, well, speaking of hasty judgments, Detective Gumshoe, I'm afraid I must apologize for an error in judgment on my part.
Your Honor, I don't believe you should apologize just yet. We have yet to prove that he is completely innocent of this crime.
I guess so.
What are you guys talking about? In any case, I would like you to testify as to your actions when you were on guard duty. And please remember, you are not on trial. This is all just a part of the investigation. As such, you might still be found to be innocent. However, if you should give false testimony... I'm convinced this court constantly has a gas leak occurring. You think?
My VIP will object loud and clear.
If you are found to be lying, you will be held indefinitely. Understood?
I gotcha, pal.
Thinking back on the state of the crime scene and the judge's testimony, it's obvious that Detective Gumshoe is lying. And if I can't break his lie, then we may never get a break in this case. This entire universe is a gas leak, yeah.
I came down to this courthouse on Detective Bad's orders. As soon as I got here, he ordered me to stand guard in front of lobby number 2. From that time on, until I heard the gunshot, I was in the hallway the whole time. On my honor as a detective, I swear it wasn't me, pal.
He's still singing the same titled tune. Huh. In that case, I'll just have to change the melody. I know he's lying, and it's time I pulled the information I need out of him. I don't think he lied there, I just think he's not explaining everything. Came down here to the courtroom on Detective Bad's orders. As soon as I got here, he ordered me to stand guard in front of lobby number 2. From that time on, until I heard the gunshot, I was in that hallway the whole time. Okay.
Hold it!
You claim to have been in that hallway the whole time. However, is it not a fact that you did something while you were in that hallway?
Of course I did something. I guarded the door to the lobby number 2, pal. What else?
Very well then. And what exactly does guarding that door entail?
Well, to put it simply... Oh, I know. It was my job to stand in front of the door without moving an inch.
Oh? Detective Gumshoe, you mean to tell me that you didn't take a single step away from the door to lobby number 2? Is that really what you wish to testify to the effect of?
You got it, pal. I didn't take a single step away from that door, just like I was ordered not to. Why is everybody so quiet all of a sudden?
Because we are all in shock and in awe of your utter stupidity.
Scuffy, if you're going to lie, at least tell us a more believable one. Ew! But I am not lying.
I should hurry up and bring this insipid testimony to a close. Wrong. Wrong. Wrong.
Objection!
Incorrect. I have an objection.
What is it, pal?
Detective Gumshoe, I wonder if you might recognize this from somewhere.
Hey, it's one of those things. The courthouse special Swiss rolls, right, pal?
Huh. Precisely. In that case, I suppose that you also recall the sullied hallway bench?
Hey, you know what? I think it was probably me that did that. Detective Gumshoe, you know you can't go around dirtying up the courthouse like this. You inconsiderate, slovenly pig. Whoops. I promise to clean it up later, I swear.
Now then, shall we get down to business? About the fact that you didn't move even a single step from in front of that door. If that really were the case, then how were you able to buy a pack of Swiss rolls? Furthermore, if you didn't move a single step from in front of that door, how did you manage to get the bench dirty with your garbage hands?
Ah! Wah!
It appears that Francisca's whip can do more damage than my words alone can.
All right, I confess, pal. I was hungry, so I bought a pack for myself, okay? I thought I'd get chewed out again if anyone found out about me eating on the job. So I didn't want to say anything. Well, unfortunately for you, I saw you do the whole dastardly...
Their voices sounded incredibly similar.
I clearly saw you buying a pack of Swiss rolls from the vending machine. Okay, I'm sorry for lying. But that's all I'm sorry for, you got that? Because I'm not holding anything else back.
That last statement. It may sound like it makes sense. However, there was something I don't quite believe about it.
Unfortunately, you're broke.
Are you sure you're not withholding further information from us?
Huh? Oh, of course not. I've got nothing else to hide, pal.
Objection!
Huh. Oh, if only that were true, Detective Gumshoe.
But it is true, pal. I swear there's nothing else.
Detective Gumshoe, I'm sure you are aware of the price of a pack of Swiss rolls, correct?
Huh? Remind me again, pal?
Cette vending machine out in the hall there is selling packs of 2 Swiss rolls for $6 a pack. And yet, according to you, you didn't have any cash on you until you cashed out your $5 annual bonus check. Isn't that right?
Oh.
Let me ask then, how did you manage to purchase a pack all by yourself? Can you provide me with a proper explanation to that?
I told you I bought it by myself, pal. There wasn't anyone else in that hallway with me. So there's no one who could have helped me buy it. Wait, don't tell me. You've got some kind of proof there was someone else in the hallway, don't you?
Correct.
As if you could. I mean, what are the chances of that? Wait, you do?
Of course I do.
What? How?
What proof do I have that there must have been someone else there in the hallway? It's the balloon!
Take that!
Oh shit.
What the heck is that? I know you didn't really have anything. You prosecutors are all the same, always lying to people. You should stop, you know.
I refuse to be lectured by the likes of you, detective. Miles, how long do you plan on being stung along by this moronic detective? I have no intention of falling for his lie because there was definitely a second person. Because he was truly alone all along, that piece of evidence should not exist. This?
Take that!
Hey, you showed that to me not 2 seconds ago, pal.
I think you're under the mistaken impression that I bought this pack of rolls.
Wait, if you didn't buy it, then that means you must have stolen it, you thief!
What? I would never do such a thing.
Oh, you liars are the shame. You start out as thieves. You're under arrest, pal.
I believe you meant to assert that all thieves start out as liars. And in that case, what does that say about you, detective? This particular Swiss roll was dropped by a certain someone.
Oh.
There were 2 rolls in this package. You ate one of them. But you then gave the other to a certain other person, didn't you?
No way, pal. You got it all wrong. I ate both of them.
Don't. Oh god. There you go. It would appear that we've caught you at last.
Hey, don't you dare do anything bad to that girl.
It would appear that they do know each other after all. So, why do you continue to come up to me and kick me? Have I wronged you somehow?
I have a name and it's Kay.
Kay what?
Kay Faraday.
Faraday. Are you perhaps Mr. Faraday's daughter?
I'm not a you. I'm Kay.
Kay. You know, good little girls don't kick other people. Especially not hard enough to leave big nasty bruises like the way you do.
Well, then you shouldn't have put Gummy under arrest, mister.
Gummy? My guess is that she's talking about Detective Gumshoe. That's a cute nickname you've given him.
Gummy didn't do anything wrong.
Hey. It appears that I will need to speak with her in a bit more detail.
Ah!
Oh! Hi! Thanks for coming in! It's your affiliate anniversary! Bada boom, baby! Hello, everybody! Oh my goodness, 40 people. Hello, everyone! It's your affiliate anniversary. So much shit happened. What happened? Hello, Sagacious Women. Thank you so much for following. Welcome to the Roach Zone. How's your stream? We've been playing Ace Attorney. We got Baby Francisca here. We got Baby K here. We got Baby Gumshoe. We got Baby Edgeworth. We got it's Muppet Babies. Hello everyone. Thanks for everyone for coming in. The new story segment of Reverse 1999 is a lot. I still need to play that game. They have legs? Yeah, in this game they have legs. It's weird to see the judge walking. It's like super weird. Yeah, I don't have a streamer intro yet. I should probably write one.
Yeah!
DB the Third, thanks so much for following. Welcome to Roach Zone. Good to see ya. Yeah, I've been we've been playing. Probably gonna go for a little while longer. Yeah, we've been just doing this. Yeah, thanks so much for raiding in 5. Hang on, let me give you. If my keyboard would cooperate with me, it's been acting weird lately. Please work. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk to Baby. Let's talk to Baby. Hello, Baby. Now then, Kay. She's like a stray cat. I wonder if I should feed her something. Eat this.
Take that!
Kay, I promise to give this back to you if you calm down.
Oh, it's Swiss roll.
It really belongs to you, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was saving it for Daddy.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, my. Your father, he's... don't you dare say another word, pal. She doesn't know yet. I'm gonna jet, but have a lovely rest of your stream. Thanks so much for dropping by. Have a good rest of your night. Get some rest. Yeah, thanks so much. Have a good night.
Thanks for watching out for me, Gummy. But I already know about Daddy. I overheard the guards talking.
Oh, no!
About how he's not here anymore.
Oh, God, it hurts. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't protect him. Kay.
I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna...
No! God! Oh, God. Oh, baby. It's all right. Let it all out. Your father just passed away, after all. I myself was also involved in a case at this courthouse when I was a young child. Oh my God, the parallels. It actually is killing me. A case in which my father, who was a defense attorney, passed away. All of my dreams of becoming a lawyer were crushed into fine ash on that nightmarish day. Even now, the wound festers deep in the depths of my soul. I don't think she understands the words you're saying. She's 10 years old. Wait, wasn't he also 10 when that happened? Oh, God. Ever since that incident, I've dedicated myself to locking away every criminal I can. And now, to have this happen right in front of me. As a child, I feel a certain shared fate, a common bond between us. Mouse Edgeworth, what sort of gentleman are you? Are you going to just stand there and watch a lady cry? Ah, you're right. Sorry about that. Okay, here. How about we use this handkerchief here and dry your little eyes? Baby. Quiver.
Oh.
Microbot! Don't blow your nose on that!
I feel better now. Thanks.
Oh my god! What was your thoughts on that? It looks like the girl has finally calmed down. Yes, I believe I can take my time and talk with her though. That was so funny! It's so disrespectful for a child like that to be running around inside the courthouse. Does no one have respect for this country's judicial system anymore? Didn't Mr. Von Karma say the exact same thing earlier? But Francisca, I don't think you two are that far apart in terms of age. Yeah, she's like 3 years older than her. I'm about to become a prosecutor, so understand that I'm nothing like that little girl. Yeah, tiny baby. She's so tiny. She's so tiny. It appears that we've caught you red-handed eating a Swiss roll.
Look, I'm sorry about my idea, pal.
And? Do you have nothing else to say?
Sure do. It was so fluffy and sweet and big. Oh, it was perfection, pal. And totally worth every penny of my bonus.
I see. Well, good for you, detective.
I can't believe it, but it's almost funnier than a fool is this unbearably foolish.
You got anything to say, man? Oh dear. Sigh. What's the matter, Your Honor? I claim to hand down fair verdicts, but I unfairly cast suspicion on the big fella. If this had been a trial just now, I would have destroyed his life. I am the guilty one. We all make mistakes, Your Honor. To err is human, to forgive divine, as they say. So, if you were to make a mistake during a trial, then that would be quite unforgivable. Talk to baby. Hello, baby. Okay, are you going to be alright?
Yeah, I'm already alright.
Somehow, I highly doubt that, but... Go not mention? It's a normal phrase people say. Somehow, I highly doubt that, but I'm not going to push that.
I promised Daddy I'd never cry in front of strangers. And you're a good kid, aren't you, Kay? You always kept your promises, right? That's right! She's so tiny! Even if I can't see Aunt Daddy anymore, I'm still gonna keep all my promises.
You're a very brave girl, Kay. You're a very good child for keeping the promises you made to your papa. I'll even testify that you didn't cry, just for you.
Thank you very much, lady.
Ha! It's nothing. I'm only telling the truth, after all. It would appear that because her father was a respected prosecutor, Francisca is sympathetic to Kay's feelings. Look at my badge. Look at my badge. Also, I think Francisca was like pleased that she called her lady because she's like, finally some respect.
I'm gonna repress this until I go to therapy. Oh, Daddy showed this to me before.
Well, he was a prosecutor too, so it's only natural that he had one as well. Hold on, I was choking on my own spit for a second. I'm good.
Daddy would pin this badge on me a lot, just for fun.
Huh, putting a prosecutor's badge on a child for fun.
Oh, Deja! Oh my goodness, so many raids. Hello! Hi, Deja, thanks so much for raiding in.
Hang on. How was your stream? You're doing an art raid? How'd it go? There you go. Thanks so much for coming in. Hope your stream was fun.
Twice! Daddy said that if he put it on his clothes, a scary prosecutor would get mad.
Commission half finished? That's good to hear. Hell yeah.
He also said that the scary prosecutor said it was more fashionable to not wear it.
I wonder who that scary prosecutor could be. I wonder, could Kay be talking about Mr. Von Karma? Sorry.
What the heck are you doing? Reminded her of her father's death, pal?
I didn't think of that.
She may look all happy, but she's really hurting deep down inside, you know. So have a heart and be more sensitive, okay, pal?
I'm sorry. I was just curious. For once, this detective is actually the voice of reason. I'm sorry, I just had to check. I just had to see what would happen. Okay, what kind of person was your father?
Daddy was a hero of justice. His job was to catch all the bad people in the world.
I love this Gumshoe being more aggressive. Yeah, because they don't know each other super well, so he's just like, come on, pal! So to you, a prosecutor is a hero of justice, huh? I suppose we are in a sense, as we are the ones who seek guilty verdicts for criminals.
Plus, you know what? Whenever I came to the courthouse, Daddy would buy me my absolute favorite treat, Swiss rolls.
Oh?
I want to be a hero of justice someday, just like Daddy. So I've been working really hard.
I see. And what have you been working hard on?
I've been working hard to keep all the promises Daddy and I made together.
A promise notebook. May I take a look inside, Kay?
Sure, okay.
It appears to be an exchange diary of sorts between father and daughter. Mr. Faraday's writing convinces saints of the kind of man he was. This little notebook just might come in handy later. Interesting. Interesting. Thank you for showing it to me, Kay. I hope you'll continue to work hard and become a hero just like your father.
I'm gonna try. Hey, Kay, so I'm a detective that catches the bad people, right? That makes me a hero too. Yeah, you're really cool too, Gummy. Yeah, aren't I, Kay?
What is it with the two of them?
I hand down verdicts of justice, so that makes me a hero too.
Yes, and thanks to your testimony, you almost painted the detective as a vile criminal and sent him off to jail. I'm really sorry about that.
Gummy is not a bad man, okay?
That poor judge. He's being treated like a vile criminal rather than a hero of justice. It appears that you and Detective Gumshoe are good friends, Kay.
Yeah, we're friends.
In that case, would you mind telling me a little more about him? Dick Gumshoe. I love her combat pose. Yeah, me too. It's really funny. She's just like, rah! So, I take it you ran into Detective Gumshoe earlier.
Yep. I was on my way to see Daddy when I saw Gummy standing there. He was standing in the hallway staring really hard at the vending machine, so I said hi.
And when was this?
Huh? Oh, before everything got crazy.
How long were the two of you together?
We only talked for a little while, and then we went on our own ways.
That's right, pal. Kay and I only talked for a little while, and that's it. Oh, which means we have now confirmed that Kay was in the hallway during the recess. Isn't that right?
You got me. I told you to stop picking a Gummy, mister.
Huh, very well then. I'll just have to speak with the good detective in private later. Were you the one who bought this pack of Swiss rolls, Kay?
Well, I didn't really have a lot of money. And I somehow made $1 out of all the pennies and quarters I had. But that still wasn't enough, and I really wanted one.
Come to think of it, she did come and ask me to exchange a handful of change for $1. And that's when you came and asked me to exchange your money, correct?
Yeah, thanks a bunch for doing that, mister.
Sure. But let me ask you, even with $1, you still didn't have enough, correct?
Well, that's why. Young Kay and young Franzy, can a kitties and a horsies be friends?
Hey, if you bully Kay anymore, I'm gonna have to arrest you, pal. Need I remind you that you're the one already under arrest. Whoops! Yow! I sense that Kay is going to be less than forthcoming with this question.
Sorry about your roughly thing.
Yes, well, now that it's positively drenched in your nasal mucus. Don't worry, Kay. I have a spare. So here, you can have this one. That's kind of a look. Kind of a look.
Daddy said, never take things from a stranger.
Ah, it's one of the promises you made in your promise notebook, correct? I feel like it'll take Francie a decade before she can make a friend. Yeah. Well, 7 years, maybe.
Yeah, look, see, it's right there on this page.
Kay's promises to Daddy. Never take things from a stranger, never go anywhere with a stranger. Huh. Alright then, I'm not giving this to you. I'm merely allowing you to borrow it. You can take it home, wash it nice and clean, and then give it back to me next time we meet.
Oh, okay. Daddy never said I couldn't borrow things from strangers.
Now then, Detective Gumshoe. Uh-oh. I believe it is now crystal clear that you were with little Kay in that hallway. Oh!
I told you to stop being mean to Gummy.
He had the spare on hand. He is nothing if not prepared. Mas Edgeworth, there's still something you have yet to resolve. I beg your pardon? You still haven't offered an explanation for why such Manfred lied to us. That's, well...
Gummy, don't tell me you lied for my sake.
Hey, don't worry about it, Kay. Everything's gonna be okay. Ah, so that's why. So, what was Detective Gumshoe's motive for lying? If you can't explain that, since you can't call this a perfect investigation. Huh. His reason for lying is very simple.
What?
Here's what I believe to be his reason. From simple observation of the detective's actions and his interactions with Kay, it's obvious that the detective was lying for the young girl's sake. And this piece of evidence will show you exactly why. Which piece of evidence proves that Detective Gumshoe was lying on account of Kay? Let's see. Never take things from a stranger, never go anywhere with a stranger, always greet people with a smile, even people you don't know. Never cry in front of strangers, always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. Daddy's job is to make sure that everyone follows the rules, okay? Be a good girl and promise that you keep your promises to me, okay? Love you, Daddy. Aww. Balloon? Balloon.
Take that!
This is that piece of evidence. What are you showing me that for? It doesn't seem to add anything to the conversation. I don't get what you're trying to say with that. Are you just, like, showing it off?
Are you gonna give that to me, mister?
I don't feel that the court needs to enter that into the court record at this time. What is wrong with everyone? Why are they all teasing me all of a sudden? Although, it's possible that perhaps I made a mistake, and that's why. Now then, back to the topic at hand. Detective Gumshoe lied for Kay's sake, and I know I hold the evidence which shows the reason why. I'm not sure, actually. There is canon art of, Gumshoe shirtless, I believe. I genuinely don't know. I'm thinking. KG8 incident, maybe? This?
Take that!
No, okay. Damn it. Well, we don't get any penalty from this, but... The crime scene testimony? I just presented that. Promise book?
Take that!
Okay, I guess. Mr. Faraday on Kay's promise notebook. How does this explain anything? If you could take a look at this page, it's clearly written that Kay should never take things from a stranger. When Detective Gumshoe heard about that promise, he tried to cover for Kay. What a foolish fool of a foolish reason for a fool. Oh, he's just an idiot.
Gummy, you lied because of me, didn't you?
Because I'm your friend, Kay, that's why.
Gummy!
At long last, Detective Gumshoe, could you please tell me the whole truth now? Yes, there's no beating you, huh, pal? Okay, I'll spill the guts. I've been standing guard for a while. I was getting really hungry and that snack vending machine was taunting me. But all the cash you had on you was $5, and that wasn't enough to buy anything, right? After all, the cheapest item in that machine is a $6 pack of fistfuls. Yeah, but then, like an angel from heaven, Kay showed up.
I was thinking about sharing a snack with Daddy, so I wanted to buy a Swiss roll, but I only had about $1 in coins.
So we pooled my $5 and her $1 together and bought a pack of Swiss rolls together.
But I was worried about breaking one of my promises. So then Gummy said,
Mr. Faraday's one scary guy when he gets mad, but don't worry, you won't get in trouble if I don't tell, right? Besides, you bought it with me, so you didn't really get it from me, you know?
he told me it'd be okay. And he gave me a whole roll to save and give to Daddy.
Who knows that Scuffy could be so considerate? Indeed. Honestly, an insane thing to do, but it kind of, like, they would be like, yeah, this is fine, because, yeah, hurt. Pain. Detective, I take it that you then sat down on the bench and ate the Swiss rolls together.
Yeah, we smelled the other roll and ate it right then.
The sweet taste of that cake's chocolate. I'll never forget it as long as I live, pal. Anyway. Okay, I believe this also belongs to you.
Oh, that's from the balloon I popped.
It's bad manners to leave garbage lying around, Kay.
I'm sorry.
Well, I guess I can't blame you for not sawing this one piece away. It was sitting high up on a windowsill where you couldn't see it. So just as fun, I forgive you.
But that balloon, I wanted to surprise Gummy a little, so I popped it on purpose. And because of me, Gummy dropped his half of the Swiss roll.
Wow, you really got me there, pal.
So I thought maybe I should give Gummy this other roll. And then I saw you picking on Gummy, mister.
So you kicked me, is that it? You sure are a feisty one.
I'm really sorry, mister.
It's alright, I'm perfectly unharmed. But about this Swiss roll, would it be alright with you if I held on to it until Detective Gumshoe was cleared of all charges and free to go? That's gonna be stale as hell. Gumshoe is so dad-coded. It's so cute!
Yeah, sure. Just make sure you give it to Gummy afterwards, okay?
Of course, I promise. Now then, I believe we have proven beyond the shadow of a doubt that Detective Gumshoe was in the hallway for the entire duration of his duty, which undeniably proves that Detective Gumshoe could not have committed the double murders.
Objection!
Oh shit. Actually, it proves just the opposite, Edgeworth. You've just shown that Detective Gumshoe isn't the only one who could have committed. The Detective Gumshoe is the only one who could have committed the crime. What do you mean? It's quite rude to eavesdrop, monsieur. Getting lectured on manners by a girl with a penchant for whipping people? What? How dare you talk back with such insolence?
You're wrong, lady. Gummy's not the bad guy.
Oh, and what have we here? What's a child doing here in a courthouse? Bailiff, please take this child away. Ah! Get out of there, Kay! Run! 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 Miss Callisto, you! That girl is Mr. Faraday's... I know. So what? You think that just because she's the victim's daughter, she gets to just run wild all around the crime scene? I think it's actually quite dangerous for her to speak nothing of getting underfoot. I suppose you're right, however... As long as we're in agreement on that point, let's get back to the real issue at hand. Now then, Detective, you were in front of the door to lobby number 2 the entire time, correct? Yeah, but... You see? Isn't it obvious that it could only be the detective? He's the only person who could have gotten into lobby number 2 at the time of the murders. I have no counter-argument to that. Don't worry, I've already put in the necessary paperwork for his formal arrest. But the investigation is far from over. Oh, that's right. I was going to speak with you about that. Don't you think it's reckless to talk to the suspect out in the open without a guard? I suppose it is. Well, as long as someone with more experience in law than you, allow me to share something. Always keep a good eye on a criminal, or you may regret what comes of your negligence. Oh, Miles, I can't believe you're letting this woman lecture you like this. This is unforgivable as a disciple of Von Karma. Down, Tigress. Now then, I'll be looking forward to the results of your investigation. So, we're back to square one. Actually, this is our last chance. I can tell that if we fail to solve this case, Detective Gumshoe will be formally charged under all the circumstantial evidence. Yeah, she is 100% in on it. I guarantee you she killed those people. This investigation is not over yet. There's still one location we have yet to inspect. It's where Detective Bad and Miss Yu were at the time of the crime. Lobby number 1. Okay. We're coming up on, there's still like 10 minutes left, but I feel like here is a good place to call it for the night. Right here. I will probably finish... Okay. Yeah. We're probably gonna finish this case next stream. And then we'll be able to get like, I want to say like halfway through the next case, and then probably 2 streams left of this game, of this part, Ace Attorney 1. Okay. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Thanks to everyone who came in through the raids. I'm super happy that lots of people showed up. Let's pop this out. Okay, who's live right now? Oh, wait, let me check fan stuff. Is there anything in there? Nope. Okay. Okay, let's switch to this. Yeah. Okay. Thank you to everyone who showed up. Let's see who's live right now. That's Raiden 2 Tomato Master. What should raid phrase be today? Something about Swiss rolls, maybe? What do you guys think? Gummy loves Swiss roll. Get Swiss rolled? I like get Swiss rolled. Yeah, okay. Let's raid into Tomato Master. Yeah. Start raid. I will post the schedule for next week tomorrow. Probably gonna be the same thing. Not the same thing as this week. We're not doing another Thursday stream. But we'll probably be doing Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday again. Yeah. Get Swiss rolled is the raid phrase. Thank you everyone who showed up. Have a absolutely wonderful rest of your night. And I will see you next week. Good night. Good night. Bye-bye.